It's not. I'm just saying.
Man, I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. That's my problem. That's my character flaw. Oh, I'm hearing myself.
And Genora has a very everything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger approach to life. So she'll either die or become a badass.
Yeah. I'll just switch it to
Hi.
normal. Go crazy. Hi. Yeah, hi.
Oh, I should pause my music. All right. I can actually hear things now. Oh, everybody got a shark.
Damn right I do.
I guess I could steal Faith's shark. I could go get Jeff. I have joint custody of Blahai by proximity. Never got my own.
No, this is solely mine now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can still lay on the bed. This is great.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I like not needing to do any of my own stream management or anything because it just means I get to sit like a thane in my chair the entire time. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
What do you bring before the council today? Oh, I'm sorry. Like this? What do you bring before me, peasants?
I'm struggling not to like just say hi to everybody in chat. It's like
I
it's
know,
like
I know.
texting.
Me too. No, I totally get you. Like, like a primary thing about my whole like style is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to everybody constantly the entire time, and here I have to control that impulse. Same thing happens that like
it's like how we start every stream.
I know. So weird. It is unfortunately, I think, a function of doing D&D streams that you either have to take little breaks to talk to chat every now and then or just not, like
Yeah.
you can't really do it.
I'm still in favor of that idea. Like what is it? It's kind of like what they do in like Tales of Adventurous, where like they can give us rerolls.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Chat is so gonna kill us.
Rerolls. I need them. I need rerolls.
Yeah. Oh, competing. Yeah, competing. No, we're definitely punching that high.
Pack up my dice so I'll get going.
We're competing with Legends of Evantris in the same way that like your local cult leader is competing with Zeus.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, why even settle for like Evantris? Why not just aim for Critical Role?
Yeah,
we can go ahead and do that. That's not a problem.
This is the Critical Role killer that everybody's been waiting for.
I apologize to everyone.
We can even get our own former redneck deep voiced cowboy person, but I can just do this the whole time. I can be Matt Mercer. I can't be Matt Mercer. I'll
no, they are all way better in voices than I am. I can't even keep their voice for like a portion of the time. They are so much more talented.
It's half past.
It's 3:30 and I'm looking for dinner.
It's 12 o'clock.
It is exactly 3:17, and that's killing time.
Now is my audio working? Why is my audio not working? Why is my audio never working?
Host is muted. That's amazing. Blind by proxy.
So no one heard my incredibly bad Matt Mercer Overwatch character impression. That's so disappointing. Anyway,
Anyway.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry, but we should be working now, I think. Anyway, so when last we left off, our brave Chaos Goblins.
Brave is pushing it.
They're in the middle of fighting off, a couple kobolds.
A few.
Give or take like 50 or 100 or so. We kind of stopped at an awkward point because we ran out of time, but we were right in the middle of a battle. They had gone to the kobold cave where they had gone before to try to put an end to the kobolds that were there, to find that they were gone, and left them a nasty little note and a little trap. But they managed to track them to a little ways into a small forest off south of the town there, where they came across kind of a large kobold encampment, which is a little bit unusual. Kobolds don't like to be on the surface too much. But it was pretty sheltered from the light and the trees there, and there were a lot of kobolds there. They kind of came in starting to sneak in. They took a couple of them down stealthily, but then they got noticed, and they sort of have roused the entire camp at this point. So they've been fighting them off. They've been holding their own, sort of, so far. Lady J, Merc's character, had been wounded pretty good. Ellie's character, Dr. Chewing, had been scratched at least a little bit. Mercy is back a little bit. We left her off in a tree. She had thrown some grease at some of the kobolds there, sort of hit the ground near some of them with one, and hit what appeared to be a large, almost human-sized kobold a little bit further in the back, and managed to set it alight. So one of the kobolds was currently on fire. Lady J had kind of rushed over to the side and set one of the kobolds' lean-tos on fire, which had started to catch a little bit and start to burn a little bit. But had also managed to kind of get herself away from the group a little bit and surrounded by kobolds at the same time. And just as we left off, a gentleman in pretty solid-looking armor came up from out of nowhere in the trees. Turns out to be the same person that they had rented the little shack from, where they'd been staying in town. He came in and kind of waded into the battle a little bit, but basically came bearing the message to get the hell out. And that's pretty much where we left it off. Did I miss anything?
Lady Jane had regrouped. We were
That's
standing
true.
next to each other.
We're back to back in a sea of grease.
That's right.
yes,
You had
Awesome album name.
You're correct. You had crossed back the grease. I remember that. You rolled the dice on whether you would fall or not, and you were okay. So you made it back to Lady J. And the gentleman in armor was pretty close to the two of you as well, and Misty is still a little bit back off in the trees there. In this battle, all of you had rolled pretty horrible initiative. But I do not remember, I'll be honest, and this is the one thing that I didn't jot down. I do not remember where in the turns we left off, whether it was your guys, where everybody here's turns, or whether it was the kobolds' turns.
I think we finished off the round.
am reasonably confident I was the last person to go.
Right.
I think me jumping into the Sea of Grease was the last action taken. But also, my memory is wretched. I've got a bunch of holes in there. It's filled with nothing. You know.
Ellie had a very
help
high
you out.
initiative. Ellie had a very high initiative. Then your kobolds went as a group because you didn't want to memorize everybody's moves. Then
Yeah.
I went on an 8, and then Merc went on a significantly lower.
Yeah, that's right. I somehow managed to flub initiative as like the highest dex character in the party.
That's right, because the monks by default are always the slowest.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that does sound about right.
dare you.
So, and you had taken down a few kobolds, so there's not quite as many as there were before. There's only like the 10 or so surrounding you, and the 10 or so beyond those, the large one, and maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 more beyond that, so you should be okay. So if that's the case, let me get my dice out here because it sounds like we're going to have to make some to-hit rolls here. But I believe that puts Ellie back up next. What's the plan?
Yeah, open up my character sheet. That'd probably be a good idea now, huh?
Nah, you don't need it.
There we go. Good old Nora.
Nora? Uh-oh.
Who's Nora?
Exactly. Let me see. What do I actually have on me? I should probably check. Oh, I remember. I was like also eating kobolds. I was like taking bites out of corpses to scare them. Are there any kobolds in front of me that I can immediately stab?
You are pretty much we're like a couple of them. We're sort of headed off back towards to try to deal with Misty in the tree. But in the current ranks where you're at, there are, I believe, at least 3 or 4 in front of you. Let me go ahead and sort of set up my internal kobold map here.
Hmm.
Yes, there is basically 1 in front of you and 1 to the left of you. The other one, since Lady J came over, the other one is kind of squaring up against Lady J. There are still a few that Lady J kind of ran away from, sort of, over by the lean-to that were chasing her down. So they're likely to come up here shortly, but they're not there yet. And then you've still got some sort of a magic user in the back because that's where sort of the grease came from. And then you've got about another 10 kobolds getting close to being in range probably this round.
And I have 6 out of 17 HP, so I'm doing great.
Sounds about right.
No, that's not true. You already drank the healing potion.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did
So you should
I?
have more
Did
than
I?
that.
Did I? Did I?
No, wait. No, I don't think she
Didn't
did. I
take
think
the
she
action.
came
She
over.
walked and drank.
We'll give it to you. I remember you threw her the healing potion.
Okay. Yeah, let me remove
Did I
that.
disengage? Was that what I did? Hold on.
I thought you did because otherwise you would have taken like 3 attacks of opportunity when you came over to chewing there.
That tracks. No, that makes sense. I probably disengaged and then drank the potion with my whatever other action it was, because I could have disengaged with either Step of the Wind or my action. I probably just did the action.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to say you drank it, I'm not positive whether you did or not, but I'll give it to you. I'm not gonna. We kind of left off in an odd spot, and I don't remember everything. So.
What?
Oh my god, I forgot I have a special move specifically for when I get hit where I can increase my AC if I get hit.
I have a secret
Oh,
bloodline
no.
technique passed down by my clan for generations. I'm only unveiling it now at the moment of climax so that we can take the audience by surprise.
Yeah,
Believe it?
totally. That's exactly what it is.
This is a.
Believe it.
Believe it! That's my Nindo.
This
My
is-
ninja way.
I would say that this would be an odd spot for chewing to heavy moment of climax, but I'm not one to
This is
judge.
the perfect moment. Are you kidding me? Surrounded
I
by
was just
people
doing on
glaring
bones.
at us aggressively, back to back with
Yeah.
with some cuties. Like I think this is the
Exactly.
perfect time for a climax.
I agree. Let's have a climax indeed. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna stab.
All right, are you going for
Stabs
the one
the
in?
He is back on, just so you know.
You going to the one in the front of you or to the left of you?
Where's Lady Jane in relation to me?
To the right of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so could Lady Jane hit the one in front if I hit the one on the left?
There is also one in front of Lady J, but I mean, yes, she could hit either of those two potentially. She wouldn't be able to hit the one to the left of you because she'd have to like punch through you. But she could also move.
How do
but-
I?
I'll attack the one in front. Just
How many
so
hit
that way the
points-
other one can't attack Lady Jane.
Does a
so
regular
I'll
healing
start.
potion heal? Sorry.
Huh?
How many hit points does a regular healing potion heal? Is it 1d4
2d4 plus 2.
Oh, it's 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Oh. That's so much more than I thought. Okay.
I had it written down because I looked it up when I got the potion.
All right, Ellie, go ahead and roll to hit the kobold in front of you.
Can we get some new setup luck? Hold on.
That's actually huge.
The world
Okay.
shark. Hold on.
Oh,
Behold the world.
the
Okay.
Blohai are multiplying.
Yeah, Blowhaj has blown on the dice for me. Blowhaj, why do you forsake me?
Blahages,
Uh,
Blahad,
well,
Blah,
sorry.
Blahadon. I don't know what is the plural. Who knows?
Yeah, I got a 12.
12 actually hits.
Let's go. Okay, let's see.
The one thing you have noticed is the kobolds don't seem to have a lot of hit points, and they don't have a lot of armor either. So they do have a little bit,
Um,
like bits and pieces of leather, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot of protection.
yeah. Misty, pick. Which
Mhm.
one do I use?
Go with the one in your left hand.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. It's 7. 7 damage.
All right, you skewer the kobold directly through the neck. It immediately starts singing its audition sound from a song from American Idol, which sounds something like, and collapses to the ground.
Can I bite it like before it collapses to the ground? Just take a big hearty bite out of it. Big
Um,
chomp.
I don't
I'm not
know.
expecting anything to come
I
out of it.
don't
I
know
just want
that
to do
biting
it.
is a free action, but I will allow it.
Could
So
be a bonus action.
as the kobold starts to fall, you reach out and take a big chomp out of its shoulder.
Fuck yeah.
It doesn't taste very good.
Yeah, it's probably not crunchy enough.
It's kind of like eating. Well, they're a little scaly. It's kind of like eating a little bit of a warm, gooey suitcase. But
Ooh.
you know,
That's actually
So
sounds
chewy.
pretty good.
That's pretty
Dr. Chewing
chewy.
has weird tastes. I think we've established.
all
Dr.
right.
Chewing has a love of
Mysterious.
texture, not taste.
And
As
is
long as the texture is good, she's chilling.
is that it for you chewing?
Yeah.
All right. So now that brings us to the kobolds. Um, so we've got one to the left of Dr. Chewing who is going to attack. Dr. Chewing, remind me of your AC again.
16.
Misses completely. Tries to swing for you, but completely stabs with the spear right between your legs. It's kind of embarrassing for the kobold. You feel slightly bad for him. And
Yeah.
then there's the one in front of Lady J there. Lady J, what's your armor class?
15.
Well, unfortunately, he tags you with the short sword on the side of your arm there.
That doesn't
Well,
sound real.
not a lot.
Nah.
Three
I
points.
dodged it.
3 points of damage.
It's not so bad.
The ones that are over by the lean-to that you kind of disengaged from before are going to come rushing over. Let's say, let me roll some dice here. Only one of them is going to be able to make it in time to attack this round. So is also attacking Lady J, because that's the side that he's on. Oh. I swear I'm rolling these numbers honestly. That was a critical. Not a big one, though. Only 4 points
on
of
who?
damage on you.
Oh, I'm back down to 6 of them. I just got those hit points. You rat. All right.
You're like a crit magnet.
Yeah, I know you
think
got
so.
you got hit by a
Crit.
crit at the end of last round, or the end of last session, too.
It's just I really need to get my drunken master perks at level 3, because then I can just be using my key points to do the flurry of blows where I get to disengage. So I'll just punch somebody twice and run halfway across the fucking battlefield, and then run back when I have to hit them again. It'll be great. Right now, though, I'm just getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Now, Mercy, you
It's a
are
good thing I am masochist.
most of the way up a tree at this point, a little bit further back. There were 2 kobolds who were sort of chasing after you there. They have enough movement to reach the bottom of the tree, but they're a little bit baffled as far as what to do next. Their weapons won't reach where you are. One of them does have a spear that they could potentially throw, but that's the only weapon that they have, so they're a little bit cautious about getting rid of it. So they're pretty much right below the base of the tree, so you can't really climb down. You might be able to jump down elsewhere, but you can't really climb down without going through them. But they seem to be having a brief animated discussion about what to do about someone in a tree. This was apparently not part of their battle plan. Um, they're a little bit baffled, so they're gonna end their turns there for the moment. Um, Although you do see one of them reaching into a pouch for something, you're not quite sure what. Um, and now the other kobolds, the one that are further back. Now, so the next rank of kobolds is almost upon you. They, like I said, honestly, more for my sanity rather than lack of anything else. They're coming up in groups of about 10 to 12 at a time. The next group of 10 is pretty much up to you at this point, or at least Lady J and Dr. Chewing. You're sort of the frontmost. The gentleman with the armor is there as well. He's just a tiny bit behind where you are, Dr. Chewing. But you're not sure whether he did take a swing at a kobold at the end of the last session and missed completely. So you're not sure whether he's going to be a big help, any help at all. He was also advising everybody to leave. We haven't quite hit him in initiative yet either. So they're not close enough to attack, but they will be next round. You're going to have about another 10 kobolds to deal with. I
can take them.
That are going to be closing in. The one in the back, the big one that you can kind of see head and shoulders above, I mean, it might as well be 3 kobolds standing on top of each other in a trench coat, height-wise. Definitely was not happy about being on fire. He's still moving forward. He doesn't seem to be. He's definitely hurting. You can see it burning him. Although several of the other kobolds, sort of in his rank, are trying to put out the fires. They succeed in clearing some of it. It's essentially they're not dumping water. They're essentially trying to like pat out the fires as best they can. They don't have a lot of water right at hand. It seems to be working a little, but he is still burning, which I should probably roll damage for before I forget. Medium. Okay, another 3 points damage. So that's pretty much it for the kobolds for now. So next, I believe we had the gentleman in the armor. So he's going to come up and take a swing at the kobold who's on the left of Dr. Chewing there. He's a tiny bit behind as far as close to the kobolds are, but pretty much right next to you at this point. Ooh, he does connect at this point with his rather large sword.
Yeah, he's got a large sword.
He's got a very large sword. Requires 2 hands.
Oh, intriguing. I have 2 hands.
and pretty much slices the kobold in half. So the one to your left, immediately to your left, Dr. Chewing, is gone in a couple different pieces. I will say, Lady J, you haven't met him before. He's definitely an older gentleman, but he's not too bad looking. Got a little bit of a handlebar mustache going on, but graying
We've met
hair.
him.
You did.
Those familiar with Merc old lore know that my primary demographic on dating apps is older men with handlebar mustaches. So
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Mercy, you met him. He was the one who was renting the shack to you. He's the one who came out and shared a bowl of stew with you the other night.
Yeah, they're the ones who've been paying.
But the other 2 did not. They were off trying to do something to the mayor's house at the time, so they didn't meet him. They haven't seen him before. All they heard was the voice from the door when you guys originally rented the shack from him. So you know that he's a fairly handsome stranger in bright shining armor with a really big sword. And that brings us back to Misty, who is up a tree.
All right. So, first, Is there more tree I can climb up?
The trees in the forest here are pretty big. This is sort of the closest forested area. You're guessing that's probably why the kobolds were hiding out here because there's a lot of shade where they're not in the bright sun. So
No, I mean,
yes,
like, can I climb higher up the tree?
you can go higher up the tree. Yes.
Okay, well, I would like to go ahead and first look at the two kobolds and see one reaching to his pouch, and then inform him just how much of a disappointment he is to his mother and all kobold kind for just standing there and not doing the obvious thing and taking the spear from his companion like he should have done a long time ago, who's clearly unable to go ahead and use the spear properly because he is just the biggest disappointment to his father, who apparently just never spent any time teaching him how to go ahead and use the weapon that he was given in the very. And I would like to cast vicious mockery.
Yes, you have a -4 to your initiative because of the long delivery. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
You really have to roll.
Oh, that's right. It's a saving throw, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What am I aiming
Target
for
was
again?
14.
14.
14. Mm-hmm.
Roll damage.
Can
6.
you authorize my use of the derogatory term slut in the comments? Automod's locking me up. I'm in Twitch jail right now.
If I had any idea how to do that, I'd be happy to.
Can you mod me?
Thank
I can
you.
do that.
I can clear the comment.
It looks like it was allowed.
Yeah.
Mods have allowed my message. Thank you.
Yeah, that I know how to do. But so the kobold looks at you with a mix of horror, sadness, and disappointment, and slumps over to the ground dead.
Just gave up completely.
The
I
psychic
will
damage.
spin.
The psychic damage from the attack overwhelmed him with shame, essentially.
As a bonus action, I'll shout out, chewing, work harder! And then I will climb up the tree some more. Chewing gets another inspiration.
Let's go. Let's go.
The kobold next to his friend who just slumped over after being essentially thoroughly insulted looks a little confused as to what just happened. And then it is Lady J. Last but not least.
Aha! How many are still around me? Is it 1, 2, 7, 13?
Right now, there is just one more or less directly in front of you. There are the 3 that were over by the lean-to. No, excuse me, let me rephrase that. There's one to the front of you and one to the right of you. There are 2 others that were near the lean-to that will be in round next range.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
And then there's about another 10 coming up who will probably be in range here on their next turn.
counterpoint. Are either of the ones adjacent to me injured already?
No.
Okay. I will hit the one that is to the side of me, which
Okay.
I'm guessing is the one farthest from chewing.
Correct.
Cool. All right, gonna hit that with a normal attack.
Alrighty, go ahead.
Just a regular unarmed. We're gonna punch him right in his big face. Oh God, I have to keep like. I am playing a more evil version of this character in a Baldur's Gate playthrough I'm doing right now, and I have to keep disentangling my Baldur's Gate character stats from this character stat. So I have to like double check everything to make sure that I'm not like, and now I'm going to step of the wind and jump 300 feet because Baldur's Gate jumping works differently than regular D&D jumping. And okay.
I mean, I'll give you the Baldur's Gate character stats.
18.
But if I give you the Baldur's Gate character stats, then there's going to be a Mind Flayer in the back of the Kobold Horde.
I see no downside. Losing to a Mind Flayer is like the optimal outcome. I mean, beating a Mind Flayer is the optimal outcome.
Yes, 18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
18 hits, rad. Okay, so that's 1d4 plus 3. 6, 7, 5.
You
5. I'm bad at math.
basically give him a pretty solid palm strike right in the forehead. And he stops and looks at you for a moment and falls over.
Rad. Okay, that was easy. And you said there were 3 more that were 1 turn away from engaging with us?
Well, there's the 2 more that were over by the lean-to, and then there's about 10 more that are about to come up from the rest of the horde that seems to be approaching.
Cool. I'm going to do patient defense and give all attacks made against me disadvantage until the start of my next turn.
That sounds like a smart move. All right, so that brings us back up to the top. We've got Dr. Chewing.
Any kobolds around me?
There is the one that is still in front of Lady J. The others haven't quite reached you yet. They are going to be within range this turn, unless you want to charge the 10 of them or so.
I'll stay. I'll attack the one that's next to Lady Jane.
Alrighty, go to it.
All right,
Yep.
hold on, real quick. Misty, pick a die. You served me well last time.
I feel like I need to set up a poll in chat on everybody's
Let's go with
survival.
the middle one.
Middle. All right, this is
Yeah.
actually my favorite dice.
Is that the metal one?
No, it's my green Call of Cthulhu die.
Ah.
It's got the symbol of the king in yellow on it. I think that is. No, wait, no, that's not. Oh well. That's a 17.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'll use the matching D8. That's a 3.
Well, you skewer the kobold through the shoulder, and he seems pretty PO'd, but he does not fall.
Damn.
So, he's extra mad right now, and he's got a hole in his shoulder.
I feel like it's statistically significant that I roll so many ones. Anyways, sorry. Keep going.
Well, you have to balance out all the 20s the kobolds are rolling when they're attacking Lady J.
Of course, I love how I keep the balance here by eating up all the low rolls.
Statistically, it evens out in a perfect bell curve. It's
Yeah.
all right. Now it is the kobold's turn. So we're going to start back where Misty is, just because that's a little bit easier. The one remaining kobold that's back there right now is going to reach into the pouch of the fallen kobold there and pull out what looks like a flint and steel and is going to try to light the tree on fire.
A kobold's trying to light a tree on fire?
Yes.
Is it the tree Misty's in? Is that
Yes.
what I missed?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
And it does look like it's catching. It's not, the whole tree exactly isn't going to go up in flames in 5 seconds, but it does look like the flames have found purchase and are starting to burn. So, Misty, be aware that the tree you are currently in is now on fire.
Misty seems like the kind of person to keep create or destroy water prepared.
One, that's a priest spell. 2, that's a higher level spell than I can cast.
You're a bard, aren't you? Bards get to steal all kinds of stuff from other casters.
At 3rd level.
Okay, well, all right. Okay, all right. Listen, have you ever considered, Misty, just even once, that I'm stupid?
No, because you've proven that wrong over and over again. Ha ha
My
ha.
competence.
Ha ha ha. However, have you ever considered that I just have water?
I was right all along. I used the wrong equation, but I got the right answer. Math teachers hate this one simple trick. Just be right. Don't learn and be correct. It's simple.
How would I not have water?
I don't know. I don't carry water on me.
I know, that's why I have water.
Alrighty, so Misty is literally up a tree. As far as the two kobolds that were chasing after Lady J from the lean-to, they are now within range. They are going to go ahead and attack Lady J from the right side and the rear. And they are rolling with disadvantage because of the patient defense.
Oh no, I'm surrounded.
They both miss completely. One of them you just sort of deflect with one of your arms. You just sort of rotate the spear out of the way, wax on, wax off, and it goes off to the side.
She's absolutely just staggering around in her high heels, slipping on the grease, and just like keeping herself standing while everybody just fights around her.
Nice. The other one takes its short sword and almost manages to stab itself in the head. So they miss completely. But then you've got the 10 that are rushing up sort of in the next rank of kobolds here. So a couple of them break off to help off. I'm just going to leave that
Oh
one
my
alone.
god, he helped you off.
Damn it. I knew it as soon as it came out of my mouth. Two of them are going to run off to help the kobold that is trying to set Mercy on fire back there. But the other 8 are going to pretty well surround everybody else. So, Lady J, there is now a new one in front of you who will be attacking. Dr. Chewing, there is now a new one to the front of you, to the left of you, and kind of in the corner who might be able to reach because he's got a spear. 2 of them also did come up to the gentleman in the armor. And this is going to be a lot of to-hit rolls, so bear with me.
You know, common sense says we should abandon this position. Did they all make the dexterity saves when they approached us for the grease?
That is a very good question.
Thank you for remembering that I threw grease.
Considers your tactically superior position, Ubu?
Yeah.
All right, so some of them did, some of them didn't. So
That's what we like to see, baby. I'm playing a numbers game here. I'm trying to force as many negative checks as possible to survive.
Yeah.
I have 6 hit points. I am, you know.
So basically, there is 1 less on Lady J, 1 less on Dr. Chewing, and 1 less on Man in Shining Armor. 3 of them went down and didn't make it to you. They will still be within range next turn after they get back up.
Oh, yeah. And make their checks again.
But they basically did a completely hysterical Three Stooges move where they ran into the grease, their legs flew out from under them, their legs flew up in the air, and they landed on their asses.
Perfect. This is the plan. This is the moment.
But out of the other ones, let's see. The one that attacked Lady J, again, your patience defense works in your favor. You manage to sort of slip slide out of the way of the spear as it comes at your head.
It's Lady Jane on Grease coming to a theater near you.
There you go. Don't make comment. Okay. Dr. Chewing, there's...
greased up and ready to thrive.
That's how I like my women. Greased up. Got ready.
The 2 on Dr. Chewing instead of 3. Dr. Chewing armor class again was 15?
16.
16. One of them misses completely, and actually that was a 1, so we're going to say that he tried to stab you in the leg to slow down your movement and accidentally hit a rock and dropped his short sword. The other one does hit, though.
Can I use my reaction to parry it, which adds +2 to my AC?
Yeah, we could. Well, okay, so you can. That still would have been a hit, though.
Damn it! All right.
But only 1 point of damage.
Oh heck yeah! Oh, that's nothing.
So it just it does sort of graze your elbow there a little bit.
I can't wait till I can goo up. You
It
just need to lose a bit more health.
it is going to damage your viability for making any money on my upcoming only elbow site, but other than
Damn.
that, you're okay.
How am I ever gonna recover from this?
I've been waiting for that elbow market to open up for years. I can't let anything happen to my elbows.
Yeah.
And then the
Don't
two
don't
on the
really-
gentleman in the armor. Holy ones, Batman. Um, Another one misses completely. He tries to stab his spear at the gentleman in the armor, and he basically you're not even sure he was facing in the right direction. The other one swings a short sword at him, and the gentleman in the armor just very easily clunk moves his sword and blocks it with almost no effort whatsoever. You do still have a couple of others who are clamoring around. They will probably get behind you next turn. They are sort of within range, but short of climbing over the folks who are already there, they don't have any other room to get in there.
How many total kobolds remain?
Well, you'd never got a definite count. Right now, if you're counting the two extra who went off to chase after Misty's tree, that's 3 after Misty. There are currently 6 on you, including the 3 that fell down. So that would be 9, and then there are 2 others who are trying to circle around behind you. That'll be a next turn. And then there's the next rank, which does include the large, not quite as on fire kobold, is almost up to you, so they'll probably be within range next round. You're still not sure where the caster came from, where the grease came from. You see a lot of kobolds, but you don't see anyone that's like standing off to the side and doing weird hand mumbo jumbo or anything like that, so you're not sure. So yeah, and then it does look like there's at least one more rank beyond that.
Okay.
The situation is getting increasingly dire.
I mean, honestly, I'm down to flee as soon as we kill the big kobold. That's what I want. My main goal is just to kill the big kobold.
Okay.
Speaking of which, did the big kobold take damage this turn?
Yes, I rolled it a minute ago when the kobold's turn.
Where
Okay.
is the big kobold?
Yeah.
Still in the back?
He'll be up to you next round. He might have to
Perfect.
wait to get into attack because right now you're kind of surrounded, but you're not sure whether he can attack over the heads of his buddies because he's literally like you've never seen like a human-sized kobold before. But basically, as he gets closer, he looks like about like 6 feet, maybe 6
Okay,
and a half.
Whose turn is it?
Well, the kobolds just finished, so that puts us on you.
Okay. Question. Will you allow me to go ahead and cast Vicious Mockery and pour water onto the tree?
What do you have? What do you have for water wise?
I have about 4 canteens. 3, technically, I think. Or 3 wineskins, technically speaking, but yeah.
I'll allow it. Although be aware you'd probably have to roll like a to hit with disadvantage for the water. Because you're probably about 20. You said you went a little bit higher, so you're probably about 20 feet up in the tree right now. Which the fire has not gotten huge. It looks like it is going to grow, but it's still kind of small at the base of the tree. So you're kind of throwing a dart with kind of a water skin or a canteen of water. It's possible you'll hit it. Whether it'll be enough to put it out now would probably be your best chance because it hasn't really fully started to whoosh yet. But it would be if you're doing that and Vicious Mockery in the same turn, I'll let you. But it'd probably be a disadvantage to hit the right spot in the fire.
Okay, I'll take that and I'll psych myself up and give myself advantage. Or not advantage, inspiration.
Alrighty. Go ahead and do the Vicious Mockery first. Which are you aiming for? Any kobold in particular? Or?
The kobold that started the fire.
Alrighty. That's fair.
Alright. So you have to roll for that one, and I continue
gosh,
telling
darn
him.
it. I always think Vicious Mockery used to be a to-hit roll, and I'm always like, go ahead.
I love Vicious Mockery so much. It's probably my second favorite like offensive cantrip after Eldritch Blast.
They failed completely, so
Okay.
Hi Ava. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that.
you're fine.
That's another 6.
6 down. Okay, so once again, your
Can't help
words
it.
of shame and disappointment cause another kobold to crumple to the ground. Um,
Ugh,
the other ones
just like me
are
talking to my dad in high school.
the other
We're not
ones
in a
are.
dry area. There's a lake nearby. Everything around here is moist. Here, look, and I start pouring the water.
All right, go
That is an
ahead
8
and yep.
and a 15, which means I get the 8. So I take the inspiration, and that is a 12 total.
All right, with a 12, I'll say you did at least partially get the fire. It's not out, but at the very least, you're pretty sure you slowed it down.
And I've made the tree wetter, which means it's going to be harder for it to ignite.
A little bit. A canteen of water isn't going to do much to soak a tree. Little bit, little bit. Um,
I have 2 more wineskins.
Just gonna be doing this every turn. Like vicious mockery, another canteen. Vicious mockery, another canteen.
all right, and I think I forgot our gentleman in armor there. Um, so he's going to take another swing at the nearest kobold. Uh, while he says, "There are too many. We need to go. I came out here to get you, not to die with you." Um,
True, but consider I want to punch that big kobold right in his stupid face.
I want to stab him in his stupid face and also probably eat his face.
but that being
But
said, he does slice the kobold to the left of him in half, this time vertically instead of horizontally. So he
Look at
definitely
me. I
seems to
can cut
be.
people in half. I have a big sword. I don't kill people with just my fists.
He definitely seems to know what he's doing with his big sword.
Yeah.
Your
It
fist. Use your words.
it seems like he's had some experience wielding his big sword before, even in large groups.
God, I love big swords.
We've
I love big swords. I have a big sheath for big swords. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
we might win an internet award for the most depraved kobold battle on the internet, so we're okay.
Oh,
We've
not
got-
even close.
I'm so sorry.
I have not even begun to thirst. You have no idea.
Well-
I am keeping myself so restrained.
It is your turn, so let the depravity commence.
We have to
Um,
carve out a cranny somewhere. Might as well be the thirst one.
where how many are around me? Two?
Let's see. So right now you've got one in front of you, one to the right of you, one sort of in between those two, and one who's half behind you, half to the right of you.
Horrific. That is so many targets. Okay. Um I can either probably kill two of them or kill one of them and burn my last key point for another turn of patient defense, which is probably the best option.
I'd say yeah,
But
because
yeah,
you don't have a lot of health. I'd say
Yeah.
prioritize your defense.
I'm gonna hit the one behind me with a regular attack.
Alrighty, go for it.
If I can ever roll without spinning it off the table. That is a 15.
15 hits.
Ah, perfect. Okay. And then s- 6 damage, I think.
6 damage.
6 damage.
You
Yeah.
basically swing an uppercut that hits him, catches him right square in the bottom of the chin. Literally flies up about a foot in the air and comes down like a foot behind. He is not getting back up again.
We love to see it. All right, perfect. Yeah, and then I'll just use my second key point for patient defense.
All right, so you're once more sort of half staggering, half weaving around
Oh yeah.
to try to avoid further attacks. Which brings us back to the top, which is Dr. Chewing. Second opinion, MD, PhD, frog piercer, and what was the other one?
Monster Hunter, pretty sure.
Monster hunter. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. How many kobolds are around me?
Well, you've got one is close, but that's the one that's kind of on the ground because he slipped in the grease.
Drinking my drink. Be right back.
Then you've got one in front of you and one to the left. The gentleman in armor is kind of covering not your left flank, but kind of your back left flank. So it's likely that the kobold that is down will get back up and attack you from that direction, and it's likely one of the others will come around behind you this turn. You're assuming because you'll at that point you'll be completely surrounded.
Okay, and the big kobold, where is he in relation?
He's still in front of you. He could potentially be around this range. Why do I keep doing that? Will be in range this round. But you're not sure whether there are other kobolds that are standing between you and him. So you're not quite sure whether he'll be able to attack over them or whether he'll have to like shove somebody out of the way. You're not sure.
Okay, I'll attack the kobold that's down. That gives me advantage, right? If it's prone.
Yep.
Let's do that. All right, Misty. Once again, 'cause you never steer me wrong. Which 2 dice should I roll? Actually, hold on. We'll throw on that. We'll throw on this one. Just bring out all of them.
You've soured the pool. It's ruined now.
Can't do that. Just go with the white ones this time.
Okay. I got a nat 1 on one of those, and then a 22 on the other.
Probably a good thing you had advantage. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see.
I am a
rolled 10 damage.
machine that turns attack rolls against me into disadvantaged attack rolls against me, and this is my purpose.
What?
I am a machine that turns regular attack rolls into attack rolls with disadvantage, but only when I'm targeted. Fortunately, I have global aggro because I'm so obnoxious. So it makes me pretty effective for the community, you know.
Oh, on the bright side, I
You think-
forgot to mention, Lady J, the lean-to that you set on fire there is pretty much a ball of flames right now.
Hallelujah.
the-
Destruction incarnate I am.
The tree that it was sort of attached to / leaning on does seem to have caught as well. So you're
Ideal.
not sure whether that's going to continue to spread or what's going on. You are in a forested area, so potentially only you could have prevented forest fires.
Man, fuck that bear. I'm trying to ignite everything.
Stop playing,
I'm a conflagration. I'm a
playing
walking
Baldur's
cataclysm.
Gate.
All right, I got 10
Can't stop
damage. Just assume it's reasonable to say I just skewered the kobold on the
Yep,
ground.
you reverse the grip on your rapier and go straight down. Basically, you now have a kobold kebab.
I wish I was that kobold.
I thought you were fucking a bear. We've got.
A girl can have multiple priorities. Okay? Let me dream.
All right, but that brings us back to the kobolds. So we'll start again in the back, just because that's sort of the smallest group right now. Misty, one of them is one of the new ones that came up, is going to throw a spear at you. What's your AC again?
My AC is 14.
All right, you've got some cover being in the tree, so.
I'm also up 2 range increments.
Yep. And misses completely. The spear goes flying off into the tree somewhere. You're not even sure where. You're not even sure they were aiming at the right tree. The other one is, again, just kind of confused, not used to dealing with tree-born enemies. It's just kind of looking at the flames, looking at the tree, looking at you, trying to figure out what in the world they're going to do to attack someone who's 20 feet off the ground. Also, that one doesn't have a spear. And now neither does the other one because it's off in the woods somewhere. There are potentially some more that are going to come up here in a second. You're not sure. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the couple that are by the armored dude. Um, so he still had one on him from before. He's got the one next to Dr. Chewing is focused on her, but there were the two others. So they're going to circle around and get behind him and Dr. Chewing. Oh, the one on him rolls a critical. And the one on Dr. Chewing rolled an 18, which I believe does hit.
Parry, which makes my AC 18. So
It still hits.
fuck. I always forget. Does it have to
Ah,
equal?
that's right. It's
above?
meet or beat. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate it.
Alright.
So, the gentleman in the armor, you see that the sword mostly glances off his armor, but it does slice into his forearm a little bit. He doesn't really seem too bothered by it, but you definitely see some blood. The one attacking Dr. Chewing, another 3 points of damage. Actually gets you in the back of the calf a little bit.
Gotcha.
Then there is also the one that is still in front of Dr. Chewing.
Almost down to half health. Oh no.
And that one misses. You manage to sort of parry it off with your rapier. Does not get next to you. Which brings us to the 38 surrounding Lady J. Give or take.
Now it's a party.
Can I? I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Sorry.
Oh, damn. I also need to use the
I
restroom,
believe
but I'll
in
do my
you,
turn
Lady
first.
Jane. You
Yeah, I'm
got
fine.
this.
I'm
You're so
fine.
good.
I've got patient defense.
You're so good. You got
I'm literally untouchable. Nobody
Uh,
can touch me, to my great disappointment.
Merc, do you want me to roll the attacks on you, or do you want to run to the restroom first?
No, roll the attacks.
Alrighty. They do have disadvantage because you did use patience defense. But
Correct.
essentially, right now, there is one in front of you, one
Mm-hmm.
basically to your sort of northwest, so to speak, or northeast, one to the right of you. You did kill the one who was sort of behind you to the right. So you've got 3 basically coming at you. That's going to be a miss.
I'm ready.
Luckily, you have they have disadvantage because that way the 2 8s I rolled were even more pathetic.
That is sad.
That was a 15 and a 3, so that's not going to work.
Hey, let's go! Man, this was the right choice.
What was your armor class again?
15?
That was a 16 and a 15.
Yes.
So one of them is going to hit.
Yeah.
Still, that went from me being definitely dead to me probably surviving.
Luckily, the sword just glances off your shoulder a little bit, takes a little bit of divot out. You're pretty sure it ruined your dress. But only 1 point of damage.
It would be so expensive to repair this if I wasn't confident that Misty would fix it for me.
So you're not feeling too well, but you're still staggering around.
I may have a sewing kit.
Okay, how much damage did I take?
One, just one.
1? Oh, great. Unfortunately, I'm all out of patient defense, so... Woof. All right, and that comes back to...
That comes back to Dr. Restroom.
Burning giant kobold. Burning giant kobold.
The burning
Burning
giant
giant
kobold
kobold.
has moved up behind the others. They are still trying to put him out. The flames are mostly out at this point, but he does still take damage this round, so he takes about another 3 points of damage. So probably won't take damage going further. You see a couple of flames on a couple of pieces of fabric, but for the most part, it looks like they've gotten him out. He is still a little greasy.
A greasy boy.
There are kobolds between him and the 3 of you, so while technically he could move forward, he has not shoved them out of the way, so he's right there, but there is basically a layer of kobolds between him and you right now.
Question: how far away is he from me?
From you, probably about 40 to 50 feet.
Okay.
Well, that's 40 to 50 feet width-wise, not counting the up. So it'd probably
So like
be
60 feet?
no, it wouldn't be. It'd probably be closer to the 50 because it'd be you're on the other side of the triangle. So without doing too much geometry, probably about 50 feet.
Okay.
And did you say it was back to Chewing's turn?
Yes, I did.
I'm confused what the turn order is. Is it
Basically,
Chewing
Me,
and then
kobolds,
us, then
you,
Kobold?
Misty.
basically, Chewing had the best initiative, even better than the
Right,
kobold, so she's at the top of the round.
right.
Armor guy should be next, although I forgot him a little bit last round, so he was a little bit late. Then it's the kobolds.
Yeah,
And because I wasn't going to roll initiative like 58 times, they're all acting at once.
sure.
Then it is Mercy back in the tree. Then it is you.
Then
So
it
the
should be Mercy
kobolds
and
all
I
just
right
took
now.
yeah. The kobolds just took all of their attacks on me. So it should be
Oh, you're right.
going
No,
to
you're right. You're right.
Misty,
You're right.
right?
You're right.
Okay,
You're
all
right.
right.
You're
This
right.
is
You're
why
right.
I was like, wait, where are we in the initiative?
The fumes from all the
It's
grease have
so
started to
stupid.
get to me, so
That's
I
fair. The
apologize.
grease fumes will do that. Honestly, it's part of the fun most of the time. Being delirious and covered in grease is the ideal state. But
Okay.
Sadly, I only got the delirious part. But no, you are correct, Misty. It's you. I'm sorry.
okay, all right, cool. No, you're fine. I was just very scared suddenly of being out of patient defense and not being able to act.
I would like to go ahead and do a repeat of last turn, where I go ahead and critique the giant kobold and pour the water.
All right. So vicious mockery again.
Versus the giant kobold who is within reach.
Oh, the giant kobold. Gotcha. Okay, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Different stat block. One moment.
Time to start killing that thing.
Yeah, the giant kobold is, I believe, from what Misty said, both on fire, or what Sarah had said, on fire and being hit by Mercy.
Was previously on fire, mostly out now.
Mostly out now. Okay.
Has taken about 3 turns, 3 turns of fire damage from Mercy hit her with a bottle of grease and then also some flame. So was taking fire damage. Most of the little kobolds have kind of patted him out for the most part. Does
Incredible.
still have some grease on him, so may still be more flammable. But right now the flames are mostly out.
Just a greasy little guy,
Greasy big guy.
greasy big guy.
Go ahead and roll damage, Misty.
Kill, 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 kill.
4 damage.
4 damage.
That
All
is
right, so
not
that
bad.
puts him at.
It's a D6 damage. 4 is good.
I know, that's what I was saying. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
That was complimentary.
He's
My
starting.
goodness. Now that I can actually see your face from behind the flames, you look terrible. What have you not done? Couldn't you have done something better with your skin regime? It just seems unsightly for you to be in charge of so many kobolds and you just can't take care of this. Why? Why do you do this to yourself? Why do you do this to us? It's embarrassing. We shouldn't be in a fight with someone who looks this ugly. Sincerely, I am I'm at a loss for words.
As the
We need
critique
to
Kobold
and
needs to
shed
burn
your
more.
skin.
as the critique and the psychic damage rolls over him, you just see him go.
Kobold needs a burn ward for 2 reasons.
um, starting to look a little bit the worse for wear. He's still standing. It doesn't look like he's teetering, but he's starting to look a little bit beat up.
All right, and then I'll pour water.
All right, go ahead and roll with disadvantage again for me.
That is a 5 and a 6, and I am not going to waste my inspiration on that.
Yeah, you dump another canteen down, but it doesn't quite hit the flames. It's kind of the tree. It's less on fire than it was a minute ago because you did get it last round, but it hasn't gone out. There are still flames starting to lick up the one side of the tree there. So it might take a little bit longer because you did get a little bit wet and put out a tiny bit of it, but it looks like the tree is still essentially on fire. So barring help, it will probably continue to spread.
I do have one more canteen or one more wineskin, so
So, and that brings us back to Lady J.
How many are immediately around me?
Let's see. That one is down. That one, two, three at the moment.
3 at the moment. Okay.
There
What's
is
their
also one
orientation?
behind the armored guy that you could reach if you wanted to.
Yeah, fuck that. He can handle himself. Um, okay. And they're like in front of, at an angle to the side, you said?
You
3
got
of
it
them?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And you said you can only
The one
remember
in,
4 things.
yeah, that's only 3
that's only
things.
three.
um, the one in front of me, is that one also in range of chewing? Since we're
Uh,
adjacent?
it's focused on you, but yes.
Okay, great. So, I am going to attempt to punch the one to my side
Okay.
with my main hand attack, right? Where's my d20? There we go. 14?
That does hit.
Oh, all right. 4.
You hit him upside the head. He kind of wobbles for a second, like he's not sure what's happening, and collapses into a heap.
Hooray! Okay, great, perfect. And then I'm going to use my free offhand unarmed strike with my bonus action. I guess it's not free. My bonus action unarmed strike to hit the one at an angle to me.
Gotcha.
Oh, you little bastard. I don't have inspiration, do I?
I don't
No,
think so.
I don't believe so. Okay, that's a 7.
That does miss. You threw yourself a little bit too much into the first punch,
I,
so you
I
kind of
guess I had to miss one eventually.
pulled the second one a little bit too much and just kind of graze against his ear a little bit without doing any damage.
Okay.
You do get a very good idea of what kobold ear feels like, though.
Is it soft?
Not really. It's kind of leathery.
Well, I can work with leather. Um, One moment. Okay. I part of me wants to take. I was really hoping to get rid of 2 of them so that I could take the opportunity to attack from one to get behind chewing and force people to like move around her zone of influence.
Well, right now there is a kobold behind chewing.
I seem to be confused about the layout of this battlescape, but that's
So
fine.
think
I
of it.
guess I'll.
So think of it like this: if you think you're on a grid, all right. So you're here.
Uh-huh.
I have to do this backwards because of the camera. Okay, so you're here.
Yeah.
Chewing is here. So you're pretty much
Okay.
side by side.
Gotcha.
The gentleman in the armor
Yeah.
is here.
Okay.
So not side by side with chewing, but
Sure.
kind of if you're looking at squares, sort of one square behind and one square over. So kind of
Mhm.
kitty corner to chewing. So right now you took out the kobold that was to your side. So right now there's a kobold in front of you. There's a kobold in front of chewing, which is kind of kitty corner to you. She killed the kobold that was kitty corner to her. That was the one that was down in the grease.
Okay.
There is one to the left of her as well. I'm
Yeah.
doing this probably backwards for the camera. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Then there is one next to the next to that is the guy in the armor. All right, so that sort of corner of chewing's thing is covered. Next to the guy in armor, there is one kobold to the left, and one kobold behind. And then behind chewing, on the other side of the guy in armor, there is one other kobold.
We're so far past 4 things. I I I feel like the space immediately behind her from my perspective would still be open with that description, but I am not good enough at keeping track of things to contest that. So I'm just going to stay where I am and pray, I suppose.
Yeah, no, there is a kobold that one of the ones that fell down the previous turn circled
Because if it was
around
behind her,
this
it should
last
be
turn.
adjacent to me as well, right? Because if I'm standing next to her. Anything immediately behind her would also be adjacent to me from a corner.
Correct, yes. So there is a kobold there. It's focused on her, not on you, but there is
Okay,
one
so
there.
there's 3 kobolds adjacent to me currently after I killed that one, not 2.
4 technically, because the one in front of Ellie would also be adjacent to you as well.
Okay, yeah, all right, that
So
changes.
essentially, there's 3 in front of you, one directly ahead, one a little bit to the right, one a little bit to the left. The one that's a little bit to the left is right in front
The
of Ellie.
situation's considerably worse than
Um,
I
And then there's one
originally assessed.
and then there's
with
one
the
behind
last-
and then there's one behind Ellie. Watch this professional DM move. um,
Okay, noted. I mean, I guess I can't really
this
go
is
anywhere, so I'm just gonna pray that I tank them. Things are complicated.
Unfortunately,
and it is
this is
entirely our own design.
This is why I flirted with the idea of trying to get a battle map thing going, because if you're just fighting like a couple of enemies, it's not that
No,
bad.
yeah.
But when you're fighting like a bunch of folks, it can get kind of complicated to keep track of where everybody is in your head.
I think now that you've got a computer, we should probably at some point look into getting you trained on Foundry or something similar.
We could
Foundry
actually. I could take another.
Makes your life really simple
I
comparatively.
could take another look. I was able to run ones before. The only reason I was hesitating is because I created one map. I created a map of the tavern for like your initial. Remember way back in session 1, your initial little bar brawl there. I tried to create a map for that. So basically, it was just a big room with some tables and stuff, and it took me like 3 hours.
Foundry. So the reason, sorry to like totally derail this. For a second.
No, you're
here,
fine.
but
You're all gonna die anyway. It's good. No,
Foundry.
just kidding.
That's fair. Foundry has a bunch of like community asset kits that you can just like attach to your campaign. Which if you're playing something like D&D or Pathfinder, there is like a billion like ready-made maps that are close enough to what you're looking for. So you don't really have to make them for the most part. And then for anything really specific, then you'll I don't know, do like a quick little like
yeah, because
draw out or
originally,
whatever map,
like
but-
the stream overlay, that big huge space where you see the big table right now, that was originally going to be designated for like a battle map.
Oh yeah,
That's sort of
so
why
I
why it's set up the way it is.
I think with a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, we can talk about this off stream. Obviously.
Oh
But
man,
I think
Merc's
figuring out
giving me
Foundry might be a good-
homework.
Oh yeah. Look, I can't remember all this shit. Theater of the Mind is nice. I like Theater of the Mind. It's good. But sometimes a bitch needs a battle map, all right? I am not going to say I'm stupid or Jill's going to bully me afterwards. But
That's
I can say it if you want.
at least
Yeah,
at
please
least at the moment that's going to be the official quote of the stream so far. Sometimes a bitch needs a battle map.
sometimes a bitch needs a battle map. That's all I'm saying, all right? But anyway, yes, no, you're doing fantastic. I'm just very confused. But I have a better idea now, and my turn is done, so I'm going to pee. If I die, let me know.
Okay, will do. All right, so that does bring us back to the top of the round for Dr. Chewing.
I want to stab armor guy. Sorry.
You want to stab the person who's helping?
Huh?
You want
No, big kobold.
All right, so here's the thing. The big kobold is only about 10 feet away, but there is a couple of kobolds between you and big kobold. You could try to shove through, although you'd probably wind up taking a couple of opportunity attacks to do it. Because basically you'd be trying to push through essentially 3 kobolds in front of... Well, no, excuse me, you killed one. So 2 kobolds in front of you to get to the other kobold. If you could sort of go to where you skewered the other kobold, where you kobold kebabbed him, and use that to get adjacent to the one before, but you'd wind up potentially taking an attack, two attacks of opportunity from the other kobolds around you to do it. So you could get within range of him, but you'd have two opportunity attacks against you. One from the kobold that's sort of towards your upper right, and one from the one that's behind you.
All right, I won't do that then. I really want to kill it already. I want to eat it. I want to bite it. But okay. I'll just. You said that there's a couple kobolds that are within range of me and Lady Jane.
Yes, there is the one directly in front of you, who's mainly focused on you, and then there is the one sort of just to the right of that, that is currently focused on Lady J.
I
But
killed
it
the
is
one
within
focused
range.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
Misty, which dice should I use?
Just roll. Just roll. You have inspiration.
Yeah, but I want to save the inspiration for attacking the big kobold. Plus, every time I've let you pick the dice, it's worked out for me.
Go with your favorite die.
Okay. 15.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yeah. Alright, metal one.
If you haven't figured it out yet, the kobolds, with the exception of the big one and a couple others that you haven't quite run into yet, their AC is 12. They don't have a lot
And
of
they have
armor
4
going on.
health, right?
Uh,
I've mapped out all this shit.
Yep, you got it.
I got 8 damage.
All right, you skewer this one directly through the eyeball.
Can I bite it?
Um,
Sorry, I'll stop asking.
in a incredibly intimidating move, you stab your rapier forward through the kobold's eyeball, pull the rapier back out with the eyeball still attached, and take a big bite of the eyeball.
Can I actually scare any of the kobolds with that?
Huh?
Can
Can-
you roll
like, can I-
initiative to scare people?
Yeah, can I intimidate any of the kobolds with that?
I mean, a couple of them look a little bit unnerved. It would take an actual action to do an intimidation check, but they do seem a little bit disturbed that you seem to be almost as interested in eating them as you do killing them.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, I don't really got much else to do.
I mean, they're kobolds. They've seen a lot worse. They've seen some pretty nasty stuff. Kobolds do not have happy, joy-filled lives filled with sunshine and rainbows.
I could imagine.
They could.
They could. Hey, you've only seen all of you are at least not so much Dr. Chewing, but the other two of you are at least a little bit more well-traveled. Somewhere there could be a happy tribe of rainbow gay kobolds who are celebrating Pride this month, who are just out having parades and dressing in feather boas. You don't know.
We are training kobolds to go ahead and have a pride parade. That is the new goal.
All right, sounds like a
Heck
plan.
yeah.
You miss a lot, Merc.
I stabbed the kobold in the eye and killed it, and then ate the eyeball off my rapier.
That's rad.
All right. So now the gentleman in armor, he seems kind of exasperated at this point, and you hear him say quickly, "I was told to come here to save you, that we needed you. I am not going to die for you. This is your
Fine.
chance. Take it or not. I'm leaving." And
I don't think we can do it without big guy.
Huh?
I don't think we can pull this off without big guy.
I just want to kill the fucking big kobold. You can run off if you want. I can take the big kobold myself.
I have 5 hit points.
Well, here's what happens.
So run off!
He doesn't swing his sword this round. You see him clutch something kind of at his looks like an amulet or something maybe under his armor. He holds out his hand directly sort of towards the main group of kobolds, including the big one. And there is a really, really, really bright flash of light. Pretty much... Bear with me here. I got to roll a bunch of saving throws.
Hold on. We're getting GM extracted. I don't think we get to choose to finish this fight anymore.
Um,
I think we've tempted fate enough.
not exactly extracted. There's too many kobolds out here right now.
I'm so looking forward to eating the big guy.
So
Too many
a
kobolds,
lot of
too
the kobolds,
many
not quite all of
kobolds,
them, you can't
too
quite really
many
tell,
kobolds.
but most of them recoil back from the light and start holding their eyes, going, and appear to be blinded,
Ooh.
including the large one. His voice is a little deeper. He's going, um, and then the man actually backs up, and he does take a couple of opportunity attacks here. That's a miss. That's a miss.
Are they all blinded?
Well, at least it seems like
Seems like it.
a lot of the ones in front of you are. Not quite all of them. The big one is, he's holding his eyes. The ones that are over by Misty were facing in the other direction. They are not. They are not at all. The ones further back, you're not sure. There is one, the one who's kind of directly between, kind of in front of, uh, brain words used. The one in front of chewing, directly does not seem to be. You think you might have actually been blocking it.
Mm.
And the one on the other sort of that's kitty corner to Merc, that's just out of your range and sort of on Merc's front right, they are not. Those two are not holding their eyes. Pretty much all of the others that were within range are.
Okay.
But he has now withdrawn at least 60 feet back from the fight. So he took a couple of opportunity attacks which both missed, which does mean potentially that unless they go, it'll be up to them whether they go after him or close the rest of the circle around the two of you.
How many are on the field right now?
You still don't have a good count. Immediately around you, there are. Oh, geez. I'm starting to lose track. 1, 2, 3. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 immediately that are technically within range of Dr. Chewing.
Okay.
3 of those are, 2 of those are also within range of Lady J if they chose to change their focus. There is only 1 right now that is only focused on Lady J. That's the one that's directly to her right side there. There is also the 2 that were focused on Armor Guy, who one is one of the ones that's immediately adjacent to Dr. Chewing already. The other one was over to the side so a little bit further out, but can easily step within range. There are the Mercy's taken a few of them down, but there are still 2 that are by the tree that is semi on fire back where Mercy is. There's the big one who is blinded, but still with a kobold or 2 in between. Well, really 1 kobold because you took down the other one that was eyeball guy. And then there is also another rank closing in behind that. I will let you know this is secretive DM information. When we started, there were 58 kobolds in this camp.
What are we at now?
54. No, just kidding. You killed more than that.
I've killed more than
I was
4.
gonna say, no way, we only killed 4.
Let's see. You're down to probably
So
about.
Oof.
You've done pretty well considering, better than I thought. I'm not going to lie. I believe you're down about. I'll have to do a full count. I believe you're down about 10.
No, I've killed at least 2, possibly no, probably around 3 or 4
I
from
haven't
before
counted,
the
but I
patch
think
and now.
I think
Yeah, Mercy.
yeah.
I've got you with 3. Lady
I feel
Jane,
trouble
you
with
have, I believe. You go back 1, 2.
I'm at 5 or 6 on my own,
Yeah, you
including
are.
when I was at the shack.
Well, you didn't
Because
actually.
they.
I don't believe
Yeah,
you killed any of the ones at the shack. They
pretty sure I
chased
did.
you and they missed, but then you went back to Ellie. You didn't really fight them. You kind of disengaged. You've killed them
Perhaps.
later after
No,
they followed you back.
I
she
think I had
killed
to
them over
fell a
there
couple.
before she came over. Because she was
Yeah, there was.
discussing about switching from doing the bop bop and not doing patient defense initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did kill
Whatever.
like a
This
pretty
is
good number of them last session too.
semantics. We
You
did.
you
We've killed a lot, but not enough.
you had you
I
had
think
you
would be
had a
the.
fair
We
amount.
did not kill 58.
Yeah,
No,
we
you
have
have
not
not
killed
killed
I would have
58.
58.
expected us to kill around like
Um,
20, maybe like half of them.
I think we're. I would imagine we're probably up around like 15 or 16, but that's just by my rough estimation.
but
I don't know. This doesn't matter.
that being said, it is now the kobold's turn. Um,
Yes.
so the two in front of you that are not blinded are each going to take a shot. One at Doctor Chewing and one at Lady J.
Got it.
Wait, what's the turn order? I thought the kobolds went after me.
They do. Did you not just go?
No,
did just go.
armor guy just went. It's
Armor
Ellie.
guy goes
It's Ellie,
after
armor guy,
Ellie.
kobolds.
Mhm.
I thought armor guy went after kobolds.
He did the
Okay.
one turn because I forgot armor guy. That was my fault.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's fair.
The one that attacked Ellie missed, or excuse me, Doctor Chewing, second opinion, PhD, Frog Piercer, Monster Hunter.
Frog Piercer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one
Eye
that
eater.
is attacking Lady J missed with a 12.
All right.
So they both
Perfect.
missed. The couple back by Misty are they're still kind of at a loss what to do. They have short swords, not spears. They're kind of fanning the flames a little bit to see if they can get them to grow a little bit faster. Not very effectively, but it's not going out. It is starting to slowly spread a little bit more. The kobolds essentially are the rest of the kobolds are blinded and staggering around a little bit, so they're not going to get attacks this round. You're not sure how long it will last.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is our last chance. Do you want to die moment? I feel is we're getting the mercy, the mercy move. Uh,
I will
trying to
say, for the record, because I know I haven't DM'd the three of you very long, I am not big on coming in on saving people. This is part of the story, but it all depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. No, I've seen this happen before. I once had a friend of mine when we got like the sneak peek of the big bad where like there was a guy talking to like a summoned demon and we were just supposed to like report it back to people who were stronger, and our paladin just summoned his horse and charged in because he saw a demon, and we all almost got fucking wiped off the bat, and it was just by DM mercy that we didn't. So I'm concerned.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm down to run. But I am going to attack the big kobold at least once on the way out.
I'm going to attack the big kobold on the way out as well.
Yeah, but other
I have
than
a
that,
plan.
yeah, I'm down to ditch. I just
Whose turn
hope
is
that we
it?
can kill the big kobold. Like he's already worse for wear.
And
True.
keep in mind there are still more behind. But do me a favor, everybody, make a perception check for me real quick.
All right.
Damn, I've been rolling fucking well this session.
Not me.
That's...
0. Not 0. 3.
I got a 23.
Mercy.
Right? Me of all people. Whoa.
You're doing great this session. I'm struggling. I did well on my attacks, I suppose.
You're doing good.
Mercy, what you got?
Kitty.
22. All right. So, Merc, you are very focused on the grease.
I'm busy trying to survive. You know, I'm bleeding from everything that can bleed. I'm in trouble.
However, whether this is consequence or not, both Chewing and Mercy, you suddenly notice still back a little ways. But you see a kobold figure that actually looks a little familiar, strangely. It appears to be the one that was in charge at the cave. Does not appear to be blinded. He's not really doing anything right now. He seems to be jumping up and down and urging some of the others on.
Mm.
How far away is he?
Oh, he's a little bit further back. He's probably like 80 feet by now.
Okay.
Mm.
Is that the big man?
No, no, it's the kobold from
Oh.
the cave, the one who seemed to be in charge back at the cave way back when.
Okay.
Just something you didn't see him there. You have thinned out a decent amount of kobolds, so he's a little bit easier to spot now. But just kind of still in the back. You don't know whether it's somebody in charge or just somebody who's really, really excited about everyone else killing you.
Okay.
All right.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
All right. Question: how heavily forested is the area we're in?
It's the most. It's not like a dense forest, but there's a decent amount of trees here. Um, there are other trees probably within range that you could kind of jump to, climb to if you were so inclined. You'd probably have to make some sort of a check for it, but you could get over to another tree if you wanted to. There are at least, 7, 8, 9, 10 trees that are kind of, all on top of each other here.
Okay.
Isn't exactly a
Um.
deep dark forest, but it's definitely a wooded area that if you don't know whether the rest of the areas around Crab Lake were just lumbered a while back, but it's a little bit of a forest here.
So I'll look at the big guy and I'll cast vicious mockery.
Ooh, okay.
As is tradition.
It's traditional at this point.
Misty is or Mercy is a machine that turns mean words into dead kobolds.
Unfortunately, he saves this time, so
Damn.
That is.
Fiends.
Yeah. Um.
he is still blinded, but he's too busy worrying about not being able to see anything to pay any attention to you.
Blinded. Blinded. Ah. At least we can't see your face as you're covering it up. Oh, jeez. I'm going to Naruto hop through the trees, and I'd like to try to get through as many trees as I can to like follow away. Come on, ladies, it's time to go.
Which direction are you going?
The same direction as our noble innkeeper.
Innkeeper. Oh, the
Our
armor guy.
erstwhile savior.
Um,
The armored man with the big sword. The skillful usage of said big sword.
he's not
Someone say skillful
really.
use of the
He's
big
not
sword.
completely out of it yet. He's away from the main part of the battle, but he's still kind of within the camp clearing. So it's kind of hard to say. He's about even with you, roughly, maybe a tiny bit behind you, but he's not quite back into the trees yet. Um, so to
Which
if
is to say, I could probably stay another turn and still be fine.
don't know. It depends on how quick the trees on. Excuse me. It depends on how quickly the tree burns. To move directly in his direction, you would have to jump out of the tree into the clearing, which would there'd be no tree there, which would probably result in a cartoon-like fall. So I don't recommend that. You could go back sort of directly away from the camp, which is also kind of southwest from the town. You can kind of go back a little bit more kitty corner, like almost to like where he is. That would work as well.
I could follow the trees around the clearing, correct?
Yes, you could do that. That
To
would
get
sort of
to the direction they want to go. So it'd be
that
a
would sort of
circling
put you
around
kind of
motion.
behind him. Yeah, you could move a little bit more in that direction.
If I do that, would I still technically be staying in the same range of the big guy?
You'd be a little bit further away. Not a ton,
Okay.
but a little bit.
How much is a little bit?
Probably about 10 feet.
Game. I'll go ahead and I'll do that for a couple of trees to go ahead and stay 10 feet away.
All right, do me a favor. Roll either an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
I will roll my my acrobatics because I'm actually pretty good at that. So I'm Naruto hopping through trees, and that is a 19, 25.
Easy enough. You run out on one of the longer branches that's a little bit more sturdy. You're not very big, so you don't have a lot of weight to weigh down the branches. So you easily hop over to another tree, and sort of do the same thing, kind of hop off, bounce off the trunk onto another branch, then over onto another tree. Not moving as fast as you would on the ground, but on the bright side, you are 20 feet. You are more or less behind the guy in the armor right now, maybe a little bit closer back towards the town side, but only about another 10 feet further away from the big guy.
Okay.
Kind of skirting around the edge of the clearing. All right, which brings us to Lady J.
Hi. How far away is the big kobold from me?
He is about 10 feet. He's pretty close at this point. There
Sweet.
is one kobold. There is one kobold who is directly in front of you. You could get to the big kobold without provoking an attack of opportunity
Yep.
there, although there would be potentially an attack of opportunity from the one that's behind you and chewing. Although that one you are pretty sure is blinded. If you did move to the big one, it would put you directly between two kobolds who are not
Try
blinded.
and move. I am going to throw my dagger at the big kobold.
All right, roll to hit.
That is a 15.
15 does hit. He's got a little bit better
Perfect.
armor class, but that beat it. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. Dagger's 1d4, right?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. Ooh, 7 points of damage.
Ooh. So the dagger embeds itself pretty solidly in his shoulder. He's
Plunk.
not. He's still standing. He's not down, but
Pissed.
he's not having a good time. He was kind of covering his eyes, kind of shocked and blinded, and then So he's
Right.
still standing, but he's definitely not happy about the proceedings at this point.
I could go punch him, but I think I'm just going to punch the one in front of me with my offhand attack and then run.
All right, go ahead, roll for that one.
I'll leave it to chewing to finish this guy off. 15.
Thank you.
15 hits.
Oh, that's another 7 damage.
All right, this one, you
Aha.
basically punch in the stomach so hard that you're pretty sure some of his innards came out of inappropriate places.
Yeah, you punch him in the stomach and then you hit him with the elbow and then you fuck off.
There you go. That sounds like a plan. So yeah, he drops.
And grease, I guess, save, right?
Well, it's up
Is
to
that
you.
still
You
there?
can move it. You can move at half speed, and not have to worry about the saving throw.
It's a dexterity saving throw, right?
Or you can move at full speed with a dexterity saving throw and take your chances.
Full speed.
All right, make a dex saving throw.
Okay. 19.
Oh, you're practically, the official grease skater of Crab Lake at this
yeah.
point.
Yeah, I'm a high heel wearing, grease skating, nightmare monk Charlotte.
Yeah, you don't even bother to
Chinora on ice.
to run across the grease. You take like two really hard steps and dig in and just glide across the rest of the puddle until you get to the end of it. And then keep running. If you go your full 60 feet, you'll be back pretty much to where Armored Guy is.
60 feet.
So you are the
I
one
guess
that's in
60
front of
feet.
you does not get an attack of opportunity because he's blinded. Or no, wait,
Perfect.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. He is one of the ones who is not blinded. He does get an attack of opportunity. And misses completely. He might as well have been blinded. I swear I'm taking these
Hell
dice
yeah.
back to the store. So you are a ways away from the front, which brings us back to Ellie. Dr. Chewing.
It's all you, chewing.
I want to go stab the big kobold.
How much health do you have?
14.
Yeah, you'll be
Not
alright.
even- Yeah, it's not even half.
So you can. Let me explain, though, what that would entail. So there is still one kobold behind you. So when you step forward, you can get to him. You kind of have to go corner-wise around the one that's directly in front of you, but you can do it. It will provoke an attack of opportunity from the one behind you.
That's
Um,
fine.
if you are planning on leaving after that, it's up to you. You don't have to. But if you are planning on leaving after that, then it would provoke attacks of opportunity both from, well, the big one is blinded, so probably not. But it would provoke an attack opportunity that
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I hear you. I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Nah,
Felt. Yeah,
worth the
understood.
risk, I'd say.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
You take that deal, Yudovich. I take that deal. I take that deal. That's a damn fine deal.
all right. So the one behind you takes its attack of opportunity and misses completely with a 2 because my dice are broken. So now you
Can I
are within
You've rolled
range.
how many 20s?
What? Who? What?
You've rolled how many 20s?
Yeah, no, but it's only
You're the
against me though.
only one to roll crit. No one else has rolled a natural 20.
I don't know
Yeah.
why this battle, every time I roll against Lady J, like my results are like on average like 10 higher of what I'm rolling against almost everybody else.
Lady Jane follows the iron path, not because she is an inherently strong and resilient person, but because any other ideology would lead her to collapse inward from all of the misfortune that she faces. She's just,
Which she
she
brings
sees
upon
a
herself.
hateful, yeah, well, the world should be nicer to her about it.
I should be able to do whatever I want without consequences.
Exactly. How dare you?
But you are now within range of the big guy.
Can I get advantage since he's blinded?
Yep, I'll give you advantage.
I think you actually do get advantage against blinded targets.
You do.
Yeah.
All right, Misty. Last one. Which dice?
Roll the die you haven't rolled yet.
The metal one?
Okay, go metal.
All right. But also I have
Alright, Des.
advantage. So which other one?
It's that fits.
Roll that one twice.
This entire
This one
stream
twice?
is pretty metal.
All right.
We're gonna ruin your desk.
All right.
Here we go.
You see like the posters in the back shake when it hits the desk.
Misty, my first roll with this die is a 3. Are you sure you want me to roll this dice twice?
Yes.
Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we
God
ball.
damn it, all right.
All in.
That was a 4.
So the dagger from Lady J and the blind staggering he's moving around pretty erratically. So you try to take a pretty straightforward stab right at his face, but he kind of staggers out of the way at the last second. So you cleanly miss. It doesn't connect.
Why would
I'm
you
not
roll
using
so
that die
poorly?
again.
I told you to roll better.
Yeah,
This
why can't
die
you just be a good girl and
notoriously is
follow
the
orders?
worst I have.
Told you to roll better. This is all your fault.
God. Can I
You just
get some
gotta get out of
mercy
here.
and just roll this die once?
You can roll it.
It's
You won't
okay.
hit, but you can roll and see what it comes up
All right.
with.
All right, Misty, I'm not asking you anymore.
Thank goodness.
All right, so you still have some movement left. What you staying where you're at, or you're
I'm
running for the
gonna get at
hills,
least
or-
one attack in on this guy. I'm not moving. I'm staying planted.
It's out of our
Gotten it.
hands.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'll be okay. I can use my bonus action, I suppose. Yeah, I'll use my bonus action.
to
I have a certain ability that lets me regenerate some health. Well, like to everybody else, it kind of just looks like my I don't know, my veins start to like faintly glow indigo. Yeah, we'll just say
Not
that.
mysterious at all. I've got no questions. I'm used to mystical bullshit. Certainly.
But it does let me regenerate 1d4 plus 5.
go
So
for
at least
it.
there's that. Of course, I get the lowest possible roll I can, but it's okay because that's still 6 health.
All right, go ahead and put 6 health back.
Just goo seeping out of my cuts. Just this glowing blue goo seeping out of my cuts.
She's a slime girl. I knew it.
New goo, blue goo.
She's
gooey, gooey.
sliming.
Yeah.
Um, if anyone chat knows that's actually a book quote, if anyone knows where that's from, you get an extra point. Um,
We get
all right, and
points.
you're staying put.
Yeah. I'm back up at
Alrighty.
like 20 health. I'm only missing 3 health out of my max right now.
All right, so the armored guy is next. He's
Yeah, all the kobolds were busy hitting me.
mostly clear of the
Yeah.
kobolds at that point. He is going to head off a little bit more back in the direction of town now instead of directly back. He can't make the tree line, so he's going to get back into the trees there a little bit. He's just using his movement, and he is running. So he's gets a pretty good amount of movement there, so he is now out of sight. Um, and next comes the kobolds. Um, the kobolds are no longer blinded. That only lasted one turn. And they are kind of down to one. Well, not entirely. They are kind of down to one target. So the two that were by the tree where Misty was are again even more confused because now Mercy has gone Naruto / Tarzaning through the trees.
You're
So
fighting dreamers. Oh, fighting dreamers.
one of them is just kind of standing there trying to figure out what to do next. The other one is kind of half following, half not. Doesn't quite know what to do because it has no idea how to reach Misty 20 feet up in the trees with a short sword. Doesn't have another weapon. The tree that is on fire is still burning, but now that is no longer the tree that Misty is in. So
Simply throw
that's
the
not
short
really
sword.
doing anybody any good. So they're just hanging out. The ones around Dr. Chewing. So first off, the big guy, who that Dr. Chewing is now directly in front of, is going to swing a rather nasty-looking halberd at Dr. Chewing.
Did you really have to halberd shame him like that?
I didn't say he wasn't proud of his nasty halberd.
I'm sure the halberd is perfectly fine.
That's going to be a hit.
Would parrying help?
It's 17.
I parry it.
Yes.
Your armor class is 16?
But I have the parry that I can do as a reaction, which bumps it to 18 for that single attack.
Okay, all right. So the halberd just barely misses you. You're not sure how you managed to
Clang.
deflect the halberd with a rapier, but you managed
Simply,
to
you just
divert
go
it.
for the haft.
You managed to divert it just enough that it misses you. Then there's the kobold who is now to your right, who was previously the one that was in front of you. Whoops, it helps if I roll the right die.
It's all about redirection of kinetic potential. You know?
That one misses. The one that was behind you steps up to attack you again. That one misses. The one who was on the other side of armored guy. That one misses. And the one who was the other one behind armored guy, that one... Your parry doesn't apply to multiple attacks, does it?
No, it takes a reaction. I can only do it once per
That's
round.
what I thought. So that one does hit, but he's just got a short sword, which is probably better than the halberd. 2 points of damage. Roll to 17 again.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. The next group of kobolds is coming up, so they're basically filling in all the gaps. They can't quite get behind you, but essentially, including the big one, there are now 3 in front of you, 1 to your right, 1 to your left, and 1 behind you.
I like those odds.
Alrighty.
Man.
But
Oh
that,
yeah, I should remove that dagger from my inventory.
that brings us back to Misty.
All right, we're going to vicious mockery the big guy again.
Back to the big guy. He's just barely within range.
Mm-hmm.
Just barely misses the save. Roll damage.
6.
6. Ouch.
What are you doing? Cover your face back up. Cover your face back up. Quit swinging on my girls. Cover your face back up.
He's pretty badly hurt. He is still standing, but he's staggering pretty good. Um, he's bleeding heavily from the shoulder, from the dagger. The couple of psychic attacks have. He's bleeding a little bit from the eyes and the ears. You still see some pretty large scorch marks on him from the fire before. He's still standing, but he's staggering pretty good. So that was
I'm
your
still
attack.
ahead of everybody, right?
You are probably the armored guy is the furthest one away. He's pretty much out of sight right now. You are the second furthest one away. You are still in a tree, but you are on like the far edge of the clearing. There's not really. They know you're there, but the kobolds that were close, that weren't that particularly close, kind of don't know what to do about you. They have no way to. They're not very much of. I mean, they could probably climb the tree if they wanted to take the time, but they don't really seem that inclined. They're kind of. One of them is kind of half following you through the trees. The other one is just kind of standing there watching, like, I don't know. And the other two you killed, so.
All right, then I will, I guess, stand by and wait to go ahead and like make sure everybody else catches up.
So staying where you are, no movement?
Yeah.
All right. And that brings us back to the one, the
Oh.
only. Uh-oh. Wait, what? Sorry.
No, that's an action. Sorry, that's a full action.
Okay. Brings us back to the one and only Lady J, who is about 60 feet out of the battle, roughly. Probably about 50 feet, the closest one, but they all seem to be focused on chewing at the moment. You are not that far away from the kobold that's kind of half following Misty. You could get to that one if you wanted to. That one could also get to you.
Would I still be reasonably out of range of the rest of the horde if I moved to that one?
You
Actually,
would if they. It kind of depends on what they try to do. If they decide if any of them decide to pursue you full speed, they could probably get up to you if you stop at that kobold. If they stay focused on Dr. Chewing, then probably not. That kobold isn't really paying any attention to you right now. He's watching watching Mercy cavort through the trees.
Gotcha. How far away? Like, so I have what, like 40 feet of movement at base, 30 from base movement, and then 10 from unarmored movement. How much of that movement would it take for me to get to the kobold following Mercy?
He's about 40 feet.
Okay.
That would take you further from the battle, so you would be going away from everyone else.
So wait. It would take me further from the battle, but I would still be in threat range of the other kobolds?
If they chased after you full speed.
Action and movement.
So they wouldn't be able to attack me. They would need to use their action to dash to get there? Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to figure out what the space is,
correct.
because I moved 40 feet away already.
Yeah, correct. So basically the only they could get next to you, so if you continued to run that, they would potentially get an attack of opportunity, but they would not be able, they would have to use their pretty much entire round to get to you.
Sarah, can I ask you a question?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Do these kobolds have 40 feet movement?
Not 40,
because 30
no.
foot movement is the base. That which means she's moved 40 feet twice, which
I
means she'd
move
be
faster
80
than a
feet.
normal character.
They'd be only moving 60. She's moving at 80 because she's a monk.
Yeah, but the last turn you attacked before you ran, so you didn't use movement and.
I move 40 at base.
Right.
I move 40 feet base. So
Right.
I moved 40 feet. If I moved another 40 feet away from the battle to go beat up that
Oh, I
thing,
see.
and they
I
only
see.
have
I see
30
what you're
feet
saying.
of
I see what you're
movement,
saying.
they would still be 20 feet away from me.
You're
if they
correct. They
full
would. Yep,
sprinted
you're right.
towards
They'd
me.
still be a little bit
Okay.
behind. Yep.
Cool. All right. that was all I wanted to check in. I was like, I feel like my speed is not being respected here. Too
That
fast.
said, I think we're only 60 feet away. I know we're
Really?
only 60 feet away from the fight. So that makes
Is
them
it-
only 20
so
feet from where she is
from me.
currently.
So I'd just move 20 feet, punch, and then move an extra 20 feet away to make sure that I was too far away and I could come in to assist if I need to. Basically, I'm just making sure at the end of my turn that I am out of dash range from the kobolds.
Yes, they
Sorry,
could get
DM.
they could get a lot closer, but you are correct. They wouldn't be able to get to you.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go and beat the shit out of that kobold.
All right. You zip over there. Go ahead and roll to hit.
All right, first hit, 7.
That misses.
Yep, second hit, 17.
That does hit. Go ahead and roll your offhand damage there.
7. That big 7 turn for me.
Yeah, you drop him. He wasn't
Perfect.
didn't really forget about you, but was really just watching Mercy dance through the
You know.
trees there.
I
And
was
you kind
far away, you know. I just sprinted up, roundhouse kicked him in the head with my heels, and then sprinted off another 20 feet away.
yeah, you kind of just sort of
Simple.
came up on a full run and then did sort of like a little pirouette in the air with a leg out and caught him right in the back of the head and took him down and kept
It was-
going.
One of those flying anime spin kicks where like the first one missed and then the second one took him out at the head and then landed and ran away, you know?
There you go. Nice. So that was your attack and your movement. Anything else?
Oh yeah. Yep, no, that was action, bonus action, movement. I'm out. I'm just chilling. I'll try to re-engage if I need to.
All right, that brings us back up to the top. Dr. Chewing and the
I just
Kobold
want to
Convention.
stab the big guy.
All right, go ahead and attack the big guy. He does look like he's barely hanging on.
What was the bonus that I got from the inspiration?
1d6.
Okay.
You can roll it afterwards to go ahead and determine.
I got a 15, like without it. Does that work?
That hits.
Okay. I don't even need it. Let's go.
Combatio!
Oh, I rolled 9 damage.
The large kobold is infuriated by all the damage and the fact that it looks like these interlopers are escaping. So lets out a blood curdling yeah, and which you stick the rapier directly through its mouth and through the back of its head.
Oh!
Real quick, can I do like a sick kill animation? Can I stab the rapier through and then grab the head with my other hand and take a big bite out of it? Oh,
I don't know that your teeth are up to piercing skull, but you could definitely get a pretty good mouthful of skin and hair, sure.
that's all I need. I just want the crunchy, the crunchy, scrunchy skin.
So as you pull the rapier back out of the back of its head, the body lurches forward right within easy grabbing range. You grab and take a big bite out of its forehead.
This has been great. Ellie's been doing all of the big damage we need. I've been massacring numbers of regular kobolds, and the entire time Mercy is up there keeping us alive, frankly.
With my bonus action or movement or whatever, can I take the dagger out of its shoulder just so I can return it to Lady Jane?
Yeah, I'll allow it, sure.
Could I also steal its halberd? So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting a little sick of the rapier, but it's okay if not.
That's a lot of stuff to be doing on bonus actions. I'd say it's got to be one or the other.
I'll just take the
Take the
dagger and
halberd.
leave. I'll
Daggers-
use my
daggers are
movement to
cheap.
leave.
Okay, so you're gonna book it.
Yeah,
All right, you got a
I'm
bunch
fine
of
with opportunity attacks.
you got a bunch of probably 4.
I feel like even if they all hit, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah,
You've got so much health.
yeah.
First one misses. Second one misses.
We're already outside. They could both crit and it wouldn't matter.
I still
third
have my
one
parry
misses.
this round too.
The fourth one misses.
Hashtag just tank things.
Yeah. Let me add your dagger into
I'm
my
I'm
inventory.
I'm I'm firmly in the DPS category. The tank over here is just like, yeah, I can take 6 opportunity attacks.
Okay, if we ever become this big of a stream, I promise I'm never going to ask chat for anything, but I'm going to ask for this one thing. If we ever get a big enough stream that we have like a post office box, chat, send me dice that work.
Don't send me dice that work.
They gave me loaded dice.
Um, you managed to somehow duck, dodge, shimmy, shake,
Duck,
shift,
dodge, dip,
stumble
dive, and dodge. You said dodge twice. That's how important it is.
out of the way, and you use your movement to get as far as you can. You did use your attack, so they are technically still within striking range. They can catch up to you. Um, but you get out of the main portion unscathed after killing the larger kobold. When the
Oh.
big kobold goes down, you hear all the other kobolds go, "Oh."
I'm just hoping that me like after like just eating a bunch of kobold faces with glowing veins like running away like just like dodging all their attacks. I just hope that's enough to deter them.
So it's looking at them, you're not sure. Some of them look honestly afraid at this point now that their champion has fallen. Others look angrier, so you're not entirely sure what their result is going to be. But um, now it's armored guy in the woods' turn, who nobody can see anymore. So he does something, but you don't know what. Um, and that brings us back to the kobolds. So out of the, let me check something here. All right, so out of the 5 or so that are around you, 3 of them take off. They start running. You do have an opportunity attack against one of them if you want it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, why not? That's not gonna hit. Roll a 3.
Alrighty. The other 2 are staying in it, and they are swinging at you. One misses. They both miss. Second one just barely. It grazes off your armor, but doesn't pierce it. That being said, the next rank of kobolds has closed in, and they have filled in the gap, so you are surrounded again.
What about the grease?
Thanks for reminding me again.
I'm gonna need to remake my character sheet on a different thing because D&D Beyond has changed off of 5e into their new post 5e rules, and it's messing up my. The moment we level, it's going to blow up my page. So I'm gonna need to go and build it, hand build it
Two
somewhere.
of the kobolds approaching you do fall flat on their faces. There are still enough sort of though to fill in the gaps there, so you are still. There is one behind you. Otherwise, they have not filled in behind you yet. But there are basically 3 in front of you, 1 to either side, and then 1 technically behind you. Behind still being back out of the clearing, if that's the direction you decide to go.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that would be in front of you right now because you backed out, you turned around. So,
Yeah.
but sort of same layout, just your face in the other direction. Alrighty, and that brings us back to Misty. Mercy of the
I'll walk
Jungle.
onto a I'll walk onto a branch, kimono tight, just standing there oddly. I'll shout to all the kobolds. Do you see what we have done to the best of you? Do you understand the power that we hold? If you guys had an inkling of intelligence in your brains, you would run, and you would run now. And I will use intimidation with inspiration.
All right, roll intimidation.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
That is not 26. That is natural 20 plus 5 plus 6. 31.
Yikes. All right, so out of the kobolds who are the closest, um, you can tell what you did definitely affected some of them. They're not running away per se, but you've definitely given some of them pause. They are definitely taking a breath, kind of looking around at all of their fallen comrades there, including the rather large one, who now has a big hole in the back of his head and, strangely enough, bite marks in his forehead. Um, and they definitely seem they're not running away. There's too many of them, quite honestly. They'd have to run over each other to get out of the way. But they definitely seem to be hesitating and rethinking their motives here. All but a couple. You do see a couple sort of are still snarling and moving forward, but most of them have at least stopped moving forward.
Okay. Still trying to
Movement.
go ahead and help them. I think that the way it should work, if I move and any of them have the intimidation or any of them have the fear effect, they can come after me, can't they?
Um,
But if I don't, then they can't come towards me.
it's not well intimidation. It isn't really a magical fear effect, so I mean that's not necessarily true. Um, I mean you had basically had a natural 20, so you had about as much effect with that intimidation as you possibly can. That being said, that you are like three or four people against like a small horde of kobolds. So they're definitely
We did kill their
pausing,
god
but
again.
they're not really affected by magical fear. So I mean, you definitely have given them pause. They're a lot more hesitant than they were before about continuing this, especially because it seems like you're leaving. Um, but I mean, technically, if there were a couple that it didn't affect, and they could move forward if they chose to. It's not a magical effect. Um,
It's okay, Misty. I'll kick their ass if they come after you.
so right now, basically, everybody is more or less clear, depending on how the kobolds choose to pursue, and you've definitely given something to think about chasing you.
I will
With the
stand on my
exception,
branch and stare them down. I don't care. I will wait till Ellie passes beneath me, and then I will go ahead and leave.
all right, yeah, most of them, pretty much, Lady J is more or less clear unless she chooses to turn around. The only one who isn't clear right now is Chewing.
The only
I'll wait
thing
for
I'm
Chewing to
better
pass.
at, the only thing I can do that I'm better at than punching is running away.
So and Lady J
Masterful combatant.
and there is and Chewing has put some distance, at least not a lot, but put a little bit of distance between her and the group there. So not in immediate danger, but a little bit depends on what she and they do next turn. Um, all right, and Lady J, it's up to you. You are at this pretty close to the edge of the clearing. You could get back into the trees if you wanted to, but it's up to you.
I want to stay. I want to go like 5 feet away from the farthest point that Chewing is going to be able to get to. So basically, like one square outside of. Oh well, is she gonna use her whole?
You
I'm just gonna
can, but that
dash.
would actually be moving back towards the kobolds, at least a
No, I
little
know.
bit.
I'm just
I
making sure
just
that I'm.
run. Don't. You're good. I'm
Just
just
don't
gonna
run. Okay,
run.
I'm just
I'll
okay.
eat
All
it.
right.
I'm a
Uh,
tank. I can eat all
all right.
their opportunity attacks. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I'll book it out into the woods and just I guess stay close enough that I have eyes on both Misty and or Mercy and Chewing. But Yeah, I'll stay nice and clear out of the way.
Do me a favor as you go into the trees, make a perception check for me.
I hate these. All right, it's actually 17.
17, not too bad. So with that perception, you see the giant 40-foot spider. No, just kidding. The you do catch a couple. You do catch that was a good face. You do catch a couple of glimpses of what look like shiny armor, not too far off into the tree line. So it seems like you're pretty sure that that's armored guy. It looks like he did stop not too far out of sight of the kobolds.
Okay, solid. For a second, I thought it was guards, and then I was going to have to start getting my forgery kit ready again. But yeah, I think we're good.
All right, and that brings us back up.
Never give them a real name. Doesn't matter if you've done nothing wrong. Never give them a real name.
That brings us back up.
I am Odysseus from Ithaca.
That brings us back to Dr. Chewing.
I'm just gonna
PhD,
dash.
second opinion.
Second opinion.
Monster Hunter,
Frog
Frog Piercer.
Monster Hunter, Face Eater.
Face eater.
Face. Oh, jeez, this is getting worse.
Tacked on at the end, yeah.
You're just doing a full-on dash.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple of opportunity attacks
Absolute
coming your way.
cinema.
I got my parry ready.
Miss. Oh, come on, miss. 16.
This is
I'm
where all
assuming
of
you're
the-
parrying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss. It's not that I want you all to die, but it'd be nice if my monsters could actually hit something every more than once every blue.
You killed me if I didn't have a potion. I would have been dead. And I was like forcing disadvantage for half the fight.
Well, hit something
One of
more
us
than
did almost die.
Okay, let me rephrase. Hit something harder than a stationary bullseye that we. So yeah, the only one who gets close, you use your rapier to deflect it out of the way, and you take off full dash 60 feet. You're pretty much right at the edge of the clearing there.
Gee golly, I sure wish I could do damage to something. Jane over there gasping, like her arm like dislocated, like bleeding from the nose and the eyes, like dress torn, like heaving, knuckles bloody from like punching kobold skulls, and it's just and over there is just perfectly pristine chewing.
Yeah.
Just a little gooey, just a little gooey.
Sticky.
A little sticky.
A little sticky.
So do me a favor, Lady J, you're probably too far for this right now. Mercy
Okay.
and Chewing, can you make perception again for me?
Yeah. 17.
1.
Okay. So Miss Mercy, you're kind of too big. Your big
Okay.
speech took a lot out of you. Your big speech. You're not really paying that much attention. But Dr. Chewing, you do see that same kobold, the one from the cave before, the one who was doing all the shouting before, seems to be a little bit calmer now, and none of you speak kobold, but the tone of the commands have changed. It's like Chad, I hope you're writing all of this down. I expect you to be able to speak kobold after another couple of sessions. And you notice that a lot of the ones that were around you seem pretty intimidated by Mercy's speech there and by all their fallen companions. They're not pursuing, they're not running away, but they're kind of shaking their weapons at you, but they're not. It seems like at this point they're making more of a show than they are interested in actively pursuing you. A couple of the others have started to sort of move to some of their fallen companions and start to basically loot their stuff.
I just realized my face is probably like there's blood all over my mouth. Probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
I look disgusting, probably.
Plus
Covered in goo and blood.
Plus a couple of wounds and yeah, a little bit of blue gooey. So it's kind of, you are the only one who's kind of still within range. Misty, you're kind of still within range, although you're kind of up in the trees, so not really. It's kind of up to you. If you want to be out of combat at this point, you can be, and you can go ahead and continue back out to the trees. At least at the moment, they are not inclined to pursue. I will let you know that could change the longer that you're still there, but it's completely up to you.
I'm chill with leaving.
We killed the big kobold. We survived way longer than we should have. We spited the GM's will for a while.
Yeah.
I say we get out before God steps on us.
Yeah. I feel like we have to have killed around like 20 kobolds.
Probably.
Like both sessions, across both sessions.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
don't think
killed... Sorry, go ahead.
I like we might be leaving, but I don't think the kobolds necessarily are gonna feel like this is a victory for them. We cleared out like
This
a
was
little under
Pyrrhic,
half their
to
camp.
be sure.
Yeah,
I only missed maybe 1 or 2 attacks, and I killed every time I hit, other than
Same.
the one shot against the big goblin, and I was attacking twice per turn because of unarmed. So it was like the casualties inflicted were truly whatever the actual number was. I feel pretty crushing from a morale standpoint.
Yeah.
They're not going
Like
to forget this
we
battle.
literally had them like walking up like a fucking meat grinder. They'd walk up, we'd kill them. More would walk up and we'd kill them.
That said, I did almost end up like an unnamed side character from Goblin Slayer for a second there. So
have you tried like not getting hit?
That's what. Yes, I did actually. I
Have you
spent
ever
2 of my
tried not
class
getting
resources
stabbed?
on it.
So we're all walking away now.
I'm out of here.
Are you continuing to walk
Fucking
towards
clear it out.
the gentleman armor?
Yeah, I'll
I
go
will
meet up with him.
I'll go jump down and I'll catch up to the group. Pat Lady D, and I will cast Healing Hands. Lady J, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Go ahead and roll for the healing. I mean, I don't think that she needs it. She's got at least like 3 hit points left. I mean, she's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I got single-digit HP.
I'm gonna be
You're
like, hey, here's your dagger back, and I throw it.
You throw it.
Kills me on the spot.
The dagger you throw at Lady J stabs her inadvertently in the neck, and she dropped. No, just kidding.
I heal you for 6 more hit points.
Sweet. That's a lot.
Why are you complaining? You look fine.
Oh. Well, that does feel considerably better. Face just splattered with blood, like everything. I'm not actively bleeding anymore, but yeah, there it is.
I owe precipitation. Chewing next.
And as you walk up to the gentleman in armor, he actually puts his hands on Lady J's shoulder, assuming she allows it.
You're very large.
And you are healed for another 13 hit points.
That's wild overhealing, but sure, I'll take it. Rad.
He sort of looks you all up and down, and is like shaking his head, and he's like, "I wish Torm would have told me you were insane."
I think that went pretty well.
Here's
your
how
dagger
many
back.
of them I brought down? I'm so much stronger after that. I was brought to the brink of death. That was exhilarating.
He rolls.
Okay, one of us is insane.
Wow, I can't believe I made it out of that alive. Look at me go.
He rolls his eyes, he turns back. It looks like he's walking back in the general direction of town, and you hear him just say, more sounds like to himself, he's just like, "What in the world am I doing out here?"
Being really big and strong, I guess.
You just see him, he doesn't turn back around, you just see him shake his head like he's disappointed and keeps walking.
Yeah, I'm used to that reaction.
So what do you do? Do you follow? Do you go your own way?
I might as well. I'm gonna follow him. Fuck it.
Yeah, me
He
too.
healed me. I'm feeling great. Frankly, I've gotten way too much positive reinforcement from this guy to not form an unhealthy attachment.
Jeez. Mercy, same thing. Are you following as well?
Just, no, because, but, but,
I see big sword. I follow. That's
You-
that's how it goes.
Good job, everyone. You broke Mercy.
I follow behind him the entire time. I'm just like, no, but, no, because see, chewing, he's,
Sorry, you say something? I'm just thinking about all those faces I ate.
we really need to work on your diet.
And do me a favor. All of you can make either a history or a religion check. Take your pick.
I'm terrible at both of these.
You're identical.
Religion and history. I will take religion.
For 500?
Oh, yeah. Also terrible at both.
Fell off.
I got an 8.
I got a 9.
I have a
Better
4.
than Ellie.
That's not hard. It's not hard to be better than me.
I mean, it is for me. I'm -1 on intellect.
An 8 and a 9. I'm sorry, Mercy. What did Mercy have?
Okay, I'm +1 right
24.
now, but
Oh, look at that. Look who's smarter despite her drawbacks.
I completely couldn't hear it.
22.
22.
I'm glad one of us has more than 2 brain cells.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional.
So one of you realizes that he did mention Torm, who you know is recognized as the god of like duty and loyalty.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Lame.
care. I still know he's a jackass.
What's your issue with this guy?
He literally slammed the door in our face.
Did he? I don't
He
remember that.
cheated us out. He's our innkeeper.
Oh, he was?
He is.
Oh.
The voice, now that she mentions it, the voice does sound slightly familiar, and it does match your recollection. You never saw him before because he never really fully opened the door, but it does sound like the voice that was the person in the house who rented you the little shack in the back there.
That's right. 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 I have a newfound respect for this guy. No.
He's not saying anything else. He's
He
clearly
is treating me just terribly, and frankly, I'm here for it.
he's clearly headed back to town. He does look a little bit older now that you have a chance to get a little bit of a closer look at him, but he doesn't really seem winded.
I can only get so invested, all right?
By what he was doing. He seems he's giving you a little bit of like the disappointed dad attitude, a little bit of muttering to himself and head shaking.
You don't have to keep selling me on this guy.
Is your jacket or your dress torn?
Both, probably.
Yeah, Merc's wardrobe is not in, or Lady J's wardrobe is not in great shape. There's
Shambles.
some blood on it. There's definitely some tears, some holes. But her shoes
I really
look
should
fabulous.
start wearing my traveling clothes instead of my fine clothes when I go out to fight, but the fashion crimes are just insufferable.
Her
I only
shoes look
have fine
fabulous,
clothes.
if a little bit greasy.
No, I
She
pressed
it. Yeah,
She's
she pressed
clean.
it already. I am clean.
Okay,
I
there you
didn't
go.
clean the other guy, but everybody else is clean.
He wasn't really that
right.
bloody. He had maybe a little bit of kobold smear on him, but interestingly enough, he doesn't really seem to. You see, like maybe one splotch on like the arm guard of his armor, and that's about it.
Kobold
So he's
smear
afraid to get
is
his hands
such a
dirty.
terrible way to say that. And thank you. for
I
that.
was thinking that too.
I hated that.
Anyway, so he's not really saying anything. He's just muttering and shaking his head. Seems to be talking to himself a little bit and walking back towards town at a fairly brisk pace. He's not running, but he's not taking his time either. Finally, after another
I'm
couple
just
of
following.
minutes, you hear him say, "We need to let people know there's this many kobolds out here. They normally don't group like this on the surface."
Okay. Can I have some coin, please? Not from you, from like the girls. Can I please have some coin? I have to do some shopping.
Oh,
What?
how much do you need? I mean,
Well,
I
I have to
might
buy
have eaten
dinner.
most of my coins, but I think
uh,
I'll have some left.
like throw me a number, like give me like a raw estimate.
All of a s-
Probably like a gold or two.
All right, yeah,
all of a
I suppose
sudden,
that's easy. I've earned plenty more than that in my
remind
time.
me who's carrying Sir Saxalot?
Me?
Okay. So, Dr. Chewing, you feel Sir Saxalot all of a sudden start to sort of shimmy as much as a sack can shimmy, and not too loudly, but be like, mm, mm, mm.
I'll open Sir Saxlot and hold him up right in front of my face.
I know him. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it down. I
I'm gonna
I
let the rest of the group walk ahead and then hang out behind,
I
and
I,
just
I know him.
so that way.
Calathar, Calathar.
I'm enthralled by the
Um,
innkeeper, Big Sword Man.
and when he hears that name, Big Sword Man stops and turns to Treg's like, "Who said that? How do you know my name?"
Are we beating up more people?
Oh, I saw it on your name tag.
He peers at you. He does not seem impressed. How do you know that name?
Quickly, give me a
Our
line.
our
What should
our
I
dear
say?
our dear Dr. Chewing is afflicted by terrible dreams, nightmares, portents of the future, even.
I'm psychic.
Um, like that. See, she can't help it. Sometimes she just blurts out things that she's seen in a fugue state. It's a very unfortunate condition.
It's a side effect of having such strong jaw muscles. Sometimes I'm chewing things and I just feel with my teeth the grooves of fate.
He walks right up to Dr. Chewing, literally like eyeball to eyeball. He does not seem to be. He's like, "I'll say it again. How do you know that name?" And then Saxalot.
No, I genuinely want to try and sell the prophecy angle as somebody who suffers from prophetic and mimetic dreams as a Kalashtar.
Well,
I want
Saxalot
to.
actually speaks up. This is the first time you've heard him
Ah!
speak to anybody
I
other
wanted to
than the two
lie
of
to
you.
someone.
It says like, Calathan, it's me! It's me! He looks confused for a moment, and then he looks down at the sack, and he looks utterly puzzled for a second, then he's like, Peleth? Sir Saxalot? Yes, it's me! Calathan, it's me! It's been years! How are you? He seems confused. He's staring at the sack and doesn't seem surprised, interestingly enough, but he just seems a little bit put off by, like, not so much that the sack is talking, but that it's almost like he's seeing someone that he hasn't seen in years.
Yeah. At least this is a nice break from the norm. I feel like normally dudes are confused when they see a girl with a sack. I'm sorry.
Really, honestly, you just keep selling me on this guy. Like, I'm already sold. You don't need to keep gassing him up.
Saxalot, what are you doing with this lot? Well, they rescued me. I've been trying to help them. They're hero. They're well, they're okay. But we've got. What are you doing? What are you doing out here? I was told this is where I needed to be. I'm retired, Saxalot. I shouldn't be out here. And then Saxalot talks.
Emphasis on tired, am I right?
It seems like he's talking to the Sax. It's hard to tell because the Sac doesn't really have a face that can point in a specific direction.
Notice me.
But it seems like he's talking to the three of you now. It's like, I've known Calithan for years. We used to travel together. Well, for a little while.
Rad.
At which point the gentleman says, I left that name behind a long time ago, Saxalot. It's
That's
often
so
now.
relatable.
You should remember that. Oh, yes, of course. Often, yes. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to, blow your cover or whatever. So sorry. The armored gentleman, Calithan, Othan, you're not sure, kind of heaves a sigh and kind of turns back around. It's like, we need to let the town know about the kobolds.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. I was on the way to do that already. Like, great minds think alike. We have a lot in common.
He kind of looks over at you and
Like
kind of
having big swords.
it kind of looks over to you and kind of grunts and then just keeps walking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's right. Give me that callous disdain. That just gets me going even harder. Let's go.
Out of all the NPCs I've created, why this one? I don't understand. Okay.
Capable fighter with a big sword, upper level age range who just hates me? How could I not?
Roll insight for me.
Who, me?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Wait, no, I'm good at this, which means I'm going to roll bad. Yeah, I rolled in it. This is like the fourth 3 I have rolled today.
That's so
Wild.
crazy. Well, I
It's
can't
7.
imagine what that's
7
like.
total. Joey, I have just as bad of rolls as you. I'm not that
No.
sympathetic.
Mark, this is session 5. I've been dealing with this shit since the fucking, what is it? Like the pregame that we did.
Yeah, so have I. My rolls have not exactly been stellar. I have flubbed most of my good checks.
I'd say that you at least don't have the curse where it's like you can go an entire session without rolling above a 10. Okay. I'm pretty sure from the past few sessions I could count on one hand how many times I rolled above a 10.
Objectively untrue. I'm gonna start keeping track.
Do it.
And
I will.
do me a favor. You're still a little ways out of town. You're getting closer to the lake, and sort of he's kind of angling over, so you're actually getting kind of close to the Black Razor farm there again there as well. Everybody make a perception check for me.
What was his name again?
Who? Which one?
The guy who hates me that I need to get approval of. That has nothing to do with.
He
my
said that
relationship
his
with my
name
father.
was. He said that his name was Othan, but Saxalot was calling him Calithan.
I rolled a 20.
Nice.
A dirty 20.
12.
I don't know what you're doing with those dice over there that they're all dirty, but we'll just leave that alone. 12.
Just be thankful they're out of screen.
Lady J?
I got the blow high here for a reason.
You said it was a perception?
Yes.
Okay. That's 19.
19. All right. So it's not really that hard to spot, so you all see it, and you're pretty sure that Othan or Calithan or whatever his name is saw it at the same time. You see what appears to be a large amount of smoke coming from the direction of the town / where the crab fishing camp was. Billowing up into the air.
Ruh-roh. I suppose we go that direction. Let's go.
Well,
Oh, no, there's smoke.
you'd have to make a decision because there is a lake in the way. So you'd either have to go going left around the lake, going west would actually get you to town quicker. Going the other way around the lake would probably take longer overall to get to either the town or the camp, or the fishing camp, but you could go that way if you wanted.
I say we go whichever way is fastest.
I'm following Othan.
He is starting to at least slow jog or fast jog, slow run. Um, he's starting to book it a little bit, which is pretty impressive. Why do I do these things? Which is pretty impressive considering his age and the amount of armor he's wearing.
He's in good shape.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
So he's got some stamina, huh?
He's got some stamina. This is great.
I knew
Oh,
halfway
man.
through. I knew halfway through the sentence. I was just doomed.
It just gets better and better.
Yeah, I mean, he just finished taking on a group, and now he's like still got like some left in the
Right?
tank.
He's still
Damn.
going. He can just run after that.
I mean, he
great.
did.
And
be
he
fair,
gave
he
me
did-
aftercare.
To be fair, he did pull out, so kind of finished early.
Yeah, but it's looking like he can go like again.
It doesn't end
he's
when you
ready to
finish.
go again.
All
Like,
right, you can keep going. Exactly. Like just because somebody
Yeah.
finished doesn't mean you're finished.
I don't
yeah.
think he finished at all. I think he left early.
He
The
just said that he
aftercare was
finished early.
real.
Do you
I
keep?
mean, hey,
Wait, hold on. I'm not seeing any downsides here. I mean, I got
Yeah,
what I
which is-
needed out of the encounter, so.
Do you keep up with the pace or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so you start trucking a little
I
bit
need to
towards the
prove-
town.
I need to prove that I can match his stamina.
So it doesn't take very long. You're not working in a very big area here yet. So within about, starting to get a little bit tired, but within about 10, 15 minutes, you're coming up on the Black Razor farm there. You don't see anyone right off the top of your head. No smoke here. It seems relatively peaceful, if a little bit quiet. It's gotten a little bit later in the day. It's probably late afternoon at this point. Not evening yet, but getting there, maybe like 3, 4 o'clock.
What's Othan doing?
He's slowing down for a moment. He's just like, they should be working in the fields right now.
Perceptive.
And
Knowledgeable on local customs.
and he pulls out his giant sword.
oh my god, you're just like
Finally!
whipping it out right here.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll let the narrative proceed for a little bit.
But he does
And-
he does slow down to a more cautious pace as he's approaching the edge of the barn there. The barn is probably the closest structure.
Okay. So what's the plan? What's the strategy here? Do we have a minute to catch our breath?
How am I supposed to know?
I don't know. You seem to be kind of like the tactical neural net going on here.
We're not being attacked right now, are we?
That's a good point. Can I take a breather for a short rest?
If you need to stop, stop. I'm going.
Fucking damn. Fine, I'll keep up.
He's not running anymore, but he's sort of cautiously moving towards the barn and the fields with the sword kind of at the ready. It's definitely suspicious that there should be something going on here that isn't, as far as like farm work, etc. And Ellie's trying to stab my eyes out for some unknown reason I don't understand.
Okay.
As you
So,
get
people are
closer,
supposed to hear bad things about the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he passes the barn and there's nobody there. As you're getting sort of towards the main house there, Loquacious comes out and says, get in here now."
Loquacious is the one Ellie was trying to hook up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay,
he's
great,
the one with
perfect.
the eloquinescent vocabularium.
Knew it.
Correct.
I knew you'd want me back. I'll go in. I'll saunter in.
He's trying to shoo the four of you into the house.
Yeah, okay. Does Othan go into the house?
Yes.
Then I will follow into the house. Yes.
God. Okay. Um, you haven't been inside the house before, other than just the doorway. It seems like a fairly well kept, very neat, kind of well-to-do home for a farmer. They're definitely not doing bad, but it's not fancy by any means. But it's
Modest late imperial era farmhouse. It's got some lovely molding along the sides. It's like it's a little worse for wear. It could do with a little bit of dusting, a little bit of remodeling, but altogether a lovely piece of property.
there you go. From Lady J's brief forays into real estate in the past, you feel like you could probably get a decent amount for the property, not even counting the barn and the farmland.
Right?
But you don't see any of the kids. You do see his wife sitting at the table, and she looks kind of worried. Um, and he invites you all to sit down there. It's a pretty big table. The kids aren't there, so there's room for everybody to sit.
Well, I'll sit down.
So Othan looks at him. He's like, "Loquacious, what's going on here? What's happening? Why is nobody out in the fields? Have you seen that smoke over there? What's going on?" Loquacious looks kind of worried, uh, anxious, nervous, all of the above. He kind of stops dead in his tracks. He looks at Othan and he looks at all of you. And he's like, "The kobolds are here. They're in the town. All of them. They've invaded."
Dang.
And that's where we'll leave off tonight's session.
Damn.
So there's even more than we.
We're just
Yeah.
kobold killing machines.
I know, right? We're. That's all right.
We will
Lots of
find out
kobolds.
next stream.
We killed so many kobolds.
Killed so many kobolds. I'm gonna have to start keeping track.
You definitely put a pretty good dent in that camp. I'll have to go back and check the numbers from the last stream. I
gonna have
want
to
to
call
say
me.
it's probably
That's right. We can do that.
rough guesstimate. I'll probably say it's probably about
Ram.
20 to 25 altogether, something like that.
Perfect.
Um,
Turns out our wanton butchery was worthwhile.
it was
Yeah.
quite a few. You're not sure how quickly those kobolds at the camp could have gotten into town, even if they didn't follow you. So you're not sure exactly. I mean, it's possible that if they kind of immediately left and started running at the same time you did, that they maybe could have beat you to town, but that seems far-fetched. You probably would have noticed.
Yeah. I have this sinking feeling that there's more than one camp of kobolds, which means this is wildly beyond the scope of our capabilities to handle it. Adept kobold slayers that we are.
But the good news is the three of you can now level up to level 3.
Let's go!
I finally get drunken master bullshit.
I don't know what I'm gonna get.
You don't have to do it now, obviously, but sometime between now and next timing.
I will.
Send me
Yeah.
your-
I
send me your-
have to remake all of my stuff anyway.
Send
and
me
get
your
new
stuff.
resources.
I'll be right
Right,
back.
right,
I
will
really
do.
need to pee. But
That's-
I'll
that's-
be
She's
back.
just
that's-
vanishing to pee for the sign off.
That's a
Huh?
lot.
I mean, when are we gonna sign off?
That's up to everybody else. I'm in no hurry, but I know people have things to do and places to be.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Somebody
like,
had a job for tonight, so
in,
yeah.
in Lady
Yeah.
J's case, she has older warriors to
Yeah.
to
I have to be a really bad decision for somebody more capable and older than me. You know, that's the way. You know.
then I can wait if we're gonna sign off soon.
Yeah, I think right because otherwise, like, what are we gonna do? Just like talk like.
It's up to you. I
like,
figured we'd
Misty's
check
gotta
in.
go.
Figured we could check in with chat for a little bit and see how they're doing. Make sure none of them have fallen over and dropped dead while we've been playing our game.
Okay, I guess.
Okay, you do
fair
that.
enough.
I'm
In
gonna
that
pee.
case, I also have to pee.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna pee.
Yep, me too. Also, Misty, if you leave before I get back, thank you. It was nice playing with you. I
Oh, I can
always
stick around for
remember.
a little bit, but
Oh, okay, never mind then. I redact my friendly goodbye. I'll save it
um,
for later.
yeah, forget me. Okay, go ahead.
So, Chad, how's it going? What do you think? Comments, concerns? Is Lady J making good life decisions? Is Mercy the halfling Azamar ninja nanny the toughest one in the party? Making good life decisions. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, and thanks for coming in, everybody. We really appreciate it. So that seemed like a good place to end off, so we're not stuck in the middle of a crazy battle again when we stopped. So. And Misty, your character gets like extra Tarzan Naruto points for like the entire like half of the battle.
Well, I figured just being in a tree was better than standing there and dying.
So it's there was still even with the your rescuer there was still a chance that you might not have made it out of there in one piece. There were a lot of missed opportunity attacks there. I swear I'm taking my maybe not the rest of the dice, but I'm taking the D20 back to the store and telling them it's defective.
I believe it.
And folks, sorry we've had less music, like when we're like on slower times and stuff like that. Um, I had an issue. We didn't have a copyright strike, but from when I was playing music, we did have a copyright claim, um, which kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm assuming this was the plan when you go to a site and it says, "Oh, use all this royalty-free music," and then you use it in your stream, and then they copyright claim it, which basically means that if the stream or the YouTube video ever gets monetized, that they can claim like a chunk of it. Which I'm assuming was the plan all along. So I basically kind of stopped using that music site immediately. So I'll see if I can find a replacement. Um,
That's an incredibly frustrating experience. It sounds like
I am here now.
and now my phone is mysteriously talking to me for no apparent reason.
Hmm. Hi.
So welcome back.
Yeah.
Is my chat just frozen, or has everyone stopped talking?
Nope. No, I think chat's just frozen. I think it I mean not frozen. I think it's just we're lurker heavy. And that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I think it may be raid time once we get. I mean, it's your choice ultimately, but once Ellie gets back, probably.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm
Well,
not Blanc.
we'll wait till Ellie gets back, and then we'll sign off. We'll find somebody to raid here. Let's see who's around.
That would be a good. See, finding that's what you do during Dead Space.
Dead
You
Space. What
locate
Dead Space?
this Dead Space.
Soko is streaming, although she tends to end around this time. I don't know if she's going to be going for too much longer.
That's true. No clue what I found, but it seems cool. Hey, Hippie Havoc. Thanks. I'm glad you think so. We gotta get an overlay put together so that we have like alerts and things. Oh, Akami? Akami's up.
Akami streaming? We could find Akami.
Rad. Nice to meet you, Havoc. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, welcome in anybody who's new. We greatly appreciate you. What is going on with my phone?
Mm.
Um, we can definitely see. I think we'll raid Akami once everybody's back here. We'll sign off and.
Rad. Also, Misty, has the sword always been in the background, or is that new?
No, I've had that since
Stop.
2000.
I never noticed it before. Very cool.
I've had to move it out from behind some of the desk parts that are laying back there.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. That would track.
I have a couple other swords that are back there, but they're not being like leaned upon right now. So
Fair. I wish I had more swords. Swords are cool.
yeah,
I've got like a katana. I bought at a mall when I was like 16 because, that was just a thing you used to be able to do. I don't know if mall stores sell swords that often anymore. I feel like that's kind of fallen out of vogue.
What? I can't buy a katana at my local mall anymore?
I know it's outrageous, frankly. Bring back weeb shops.
I
If I
remember there.
can't get my Invader Zim hoodie, my Naruto headband, and an actual sharpened sword at the same place in a local mall, what's even the point of living in an industrialized society?
Yeah, I do
I'm
remember
out of
growing up.
coffee.
There used to be one of those in the mall where I was at. And you could.
Right?
They had some cool swords that you could buy in display cases and stuff like that, and take home with
And they,
you,
they were all wretched quality,
or
like comparatively.
just
Like,
take on a jaunt
but
around the mall. Whatever you were
yeah.
feeling up to.
Ah, there's a reason these things didn't survive. I'm gonna pack up my dice, get everything all wrapped up.
Havik, I have no clue what I found, but it seems cool. Well, thank you, Havik. Uh, right now, we're still streaming every other Wednesday, so we will not be on next Wednesday, but we will be on the Wednesday after
I
that.
return.
Yeah, welcome back. Just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of new, so we're kind of putting in some stream improvements little bit by little bit here. We've gotten to the point where everything doesn't break every time, so we're doing well there. We'll start adding so we'll see between the next one, we'll take a look at the battle map angle and see where that goes, cuz definitely if we're going to be having some bigger fights, that will come in a little bit handy.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna become increasingly more important the farther in we get.
Yeah. 58 kobolds and 4 adventurers and 1 NPC are a little bit hard to handle. Just keeping
Although,
track of all
yeah,
in your head, so
exactly.
like I said
But
before,
yeah.
that's part of the reason why they were coming at you like 10 or 12 at a time, just because otherwise it would have been
Right,
too
yeah,
hard
it's like
for.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at keeping
there's
track of
like
stuff, but that would have been insane if I had them all coming at the same time.
theater of the mind requires a very specific like style of encounter operation. So like you either have to lean hard into that or just cave and try to do maps. So I mean either one works, but I'm spitballing.
Yeah,
Being annoying.
Maps was the original plan, so if we can get something set up, we can always do it like half and half. We can do like maps for anything more
Hey,
complicated.
you don't need to have a map for every encounter, but
Yeah. But I think
But
we're
yeah.
gonna sign out. Merc, remind me, Akame is just AKAME, correct?
AKEMI KOT.
So exactly as I said it, except for completely different.
You know what? Here we go. There. That's the full should be the full name there.
Thank you. Let me see if I remember how the rady thing worky.
Yeah, you got this. I believe in you.
Really? Jeez, it's a good thing you put that in chat.
I figured it was going to be important to do that. So I just
And
Also, I like the
it's just /raid, correct?
Probably, yeah. I usually use the button in the stream manager on Twitch, but that's because I have like UI crimes on my second monitor. So
Make sure I got the right spelling of that here, and make sure we're not sending you off to some sort of strange person.
Wow.
But yeah, everybody, thanks
Let's
for
not
hanging
go
out.
over
We'll send you
ambitious.
over to Akame's stream there. Please tell her that the good girls in a dungeon say hello. And thanks for coming by. You can always reach out if you have any ideas, suggestions, complaints, large puddles of goo, or anything else that we need to know about. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Other than that,
Yeah.
don't forget to tune in to Merc on her stream or Ellie on her stream. And Misty, I don't know if you're planning on streaming at all this week.
All
Well, there you have it. Um,
right.
so thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
And now, anticlimactically, we have to wait like 10 seconds for the raid to go.
So you gotta fire that thing up early, and then you can hit raid whenever you're ready. Cut yourself off halfway through your sentence because you miscount the lag,